Inner Harbor area after a gorgeous day. Blue skies, lots of sunshine. And tonight the Orioles trying to take game 2 of the set. Let's take a look at the starting lineup for Terry Francona's Boston Red Sox. It'll have Ellsbury, Pedroia, and Martinez, Youkilis, Ortiz, and Drew, Lowell, Reddick in for Bay again, and Gonzalez. Victor Martinez trying to extend a 17-game hit streak.
Take a look at our PNC scouting report. Well, David Hernandez is going to have to make some adjustments. 4-game losing streak, so worked hard in between. Very good side session. 9 home runs in the last 9 2/3 innings, and a chance to get even. He has beaten the Red Sox once. The Orioles have only done it as a team twice, so a chance to get that record to 2-2. And again, in the even, the last time he pitched, they hit 4 home runs, so a little payback. But he's going to have to make some adjustments and really keep the ball down. And he's been very inconsistent with his changeup and slider. That's got a chance to be successful. And then, of course, the Orioles going to have to score him some runs.
And this is a Red Sox team that is on another roll after a bit of a slump. Last month, for a couple of weeks, Terry Francona's team is now pitching extraordinarily well, and the bats have also heated up. Since August 18, the Red Sox are batting .290. They scored 176 runs, second best in the majors in both categories, behind the Yankees in both categories. Here's Jacoby Ellsbury. He will take the pitch inside for a ball. Ellsbury had a 2 for 5 in the ball game last night. We saw Terry Francona and the trainer go out to center field late in the ball game to talk with him. Terry said today it's been a groin problem that has bothered him a bit. Not enough to take him out of the lineup, though. And Francona said he wanted to play today, and here he is.
Ellsbury in, Bay out. Flu-like symptoms, they say. Of course, you never really know. Not a lot of information whether it's out or some kind of injury, but he's out of the lineup, so somewhat of a break because he's tied with Evan Longoria for second most RBIs. But this guy's all about scoring runs. That and great defense in the outfield.
Hernandez trying to keep the league's leading base stealer off here, and the breaking ball will be taken inside. A 2-ball, 2-strike count. Ellsbury 3 for 6 in the times he has faced Hernandez. And Hernandez knows he gets on. It is all but a double. 2-2 delivery to him, and that'll be out in left center field. Shortstop back as Torres has got it. Ellsbury out of there, and 1 down. Here's Dustin Pedroia. 2 outstanding second basemen getting chances. Both Brian Roberts and Pedroia can run. They add stolen bases. They hit for average, and they can drive in runs. And they are table setters that get on base, are among the top 10 in runs scored. You see the differentials in those categories, not very much. Extra base hits favor Brian, the average for Dustin, and RBIs all but even, only 1 differential. So a couple of guys of modest stature in frame, but not in production.
Yeah, not the way they play the game, and they're good friends off the field. Both live in Arizona. Athletes, performance group, work out together in the offseason. Pedroia, of course, it looks like he's giving you more effort because he's a maximum effort guy. 3 home runs lifetime off of David Hernandez, last year's MVP.
He has a 10-game hit streak coming into this. It matches the longest streak he has had this season, hitting .325 during the 10-game streak. And he will punch that one foul. He actually struck out last night in an at-bat. Last one in the 9th inning. He hadn't struck out in 61 plate appearances prior to that K last night. He is a tremendous contact hitter, so Hernandez knows he's probably got to get him to hit it to somebody to get the out. And that's exactly what happens. Popped him up. There's Torres again, and he's got it, and there are 2 down.
Let's take a look at the Orioles defense. Fiorentino in left, PA in center, Markakis in right, Mora is Turris, Robertson, Wigginton, Chad Moeller, veteran catcher behind the plate. And Matt Wieters will be doing the DHing tonight.
Red Sox come into the ball game trailing the Yankees in the division by 6 now. The Yankees lost last night. The Red Sox won, so they gained a game. The Red Sox have won 8 out of 10. The Yankees 6 out of 10. The Yankees still trying to put it away, and Terry Francona trying to at least guarantee the wild card, and that's pretty well set now. That ball's going to be rocketed to the corner in right field. Markakis over. We'll have to play it on a hop. It'll be a long single. Boy, Martinez doesn't wait. That's an 18-game hit streak for Victor Martinez.
Yeah, when he gets a good pitch to hit, he's going to hit it hard. And watch this ball. The target's down and away. It goes down and in, and he just golfs it down in the corner. Nick Markakis will take care of business. As good a right fielder is in baseball, he'll just turn it into a single. And of course, the play in front of Victor Martinez, not a particularly swift runner, but he doesn't need to be.
Sure can get on. Batting in the cleanup spot with the league's 8th best average is Kevin Youkilis with a runner on at first base and 2 down. We told you last night the Red Sox, the first 2 innings, a 65 plus 65 advantage run differential in innings 1 and 2 versus all opponents this year. So they jump on you early. Youkilis will take the slider. 1 ball, 1 strike. Kevin had an 0 for 4 in the ball game last night. Hernandez has faced him 7 times. Youkilis has 3 hits, 7 at bats, including 2 home runs off Hernandez. 1-1 delivery. 1-2.
Yeah, I think one of the things the Orioles are trying to do, you can talk all about mechanics, but when you throw 9 home runs in 9 2/3 innings, it's about grip pressure too. Are you relaxed? And it's hard to do that, especially for a youngster, only 24 years old, first year in the big leagues. They're just trying to get him. You know, he's got a power arm.
1-2 delivery on the way, and he came back inside and got him. Hernandez, a solid inning. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, 1 left on base. Back to Camden Yards with the O's. Here's the lineup for Dave Trembley's Orioles. Brought to you by Southwest Airlines. Roberts, IZTURIS, and Wieters. Markakis, Mora, and Wigginton. PA, Moeller, and Fiorentino. Chad last 5. 8 for 15 with a home run and 6 RBIs.
Take a look at our PNC scouting report on the 25-year-old left-hander. 9-0 with a very low earned run average. 12-2 last 14 decisions, so you can get a pretty good idea. And for the history of the Red Sox, there has never been a left-handed starter that has struck out 200. He's done it. 211, 3rd in the American League. Power pitchers, got 4 pitches, both sides of the plate. And I'll tell you what, he can flat out pitch. Great stuff.
Brian Roberts will lead it off. Brian, a 1 for 4 in the ball game last night. Brian has had good success against Leicester. 8 for 29 with a home run, lifetime offing. 286 in the year with the 15 homers, 74 RBIs. Left-hander's 1-0 delivery to him will be taken outside for a ball. Lester, numbers almost identical to what he had last year. He finished 16-6 with a 3.21 ERA. He's got a 3.29 right now. 2-0 delivery inside. Lester having trouble just finding that release point, and Bryant took that pitch, and the count goes to 3-0.
Yeah, we talk about how difficult it is to come out of the bullpen already. He's kicking in front of the pitching rubber where his landing foot is, and that is one of the transitions you have to make coming out of the bullpen.
3-0 delivery. Roberts takes it. Bryant comes in 4th in the league in runs, still among the top 10 in stolen base. He is 6, well behind Ellsbury, who's got the 62. Leads the league in doubles, still with 52, ahead of Billy Butler's 47. 3-1 delivery, and that is going to be on the outside corner. So Roberts trying to draw the walk, willing to take that 3-1 pitch, and it's 3-2.
And Brian with the only home run of any of the hitters that are in the lineup off of John Lester.
3-ball, 2-strike count. Lester's delivery to him, and that'll be taken to the gap in left center field. Brian may add another on that doubles total. He makes the turn. Here's the throw by Ellsbury, not in time. Chalk up another one as he tries to get to 60. A double for Brian Roberts.
5 straight fastballs, and he just clubs the 6th one on the 3-2 pitch. Finds a gap. Now, you can do all your positioning, but usually when you position your outfielders, it's based on the pitcher being ahead. But when a guy like Brian Roberts is good a hitter, he gets to time the ball. 6 straight fastballs. All of a sudden, if you're a couple of steps to the other way, he's going to pull the ball, and that's exactly what he does.
Playing for the bunt, they were in at 1st and 3rd. As Torres at the plate, a look to second base. Not showing bunt, and will take the pitch outside for a ball. Well, we'll see how Dave Tremblay will play this now. As Torres 1 for 3 in the only times he has faced Lester. He has 4 sacrifices in the year. You can see Gonzalez trying to hold Brian Roberts close at second base.
Well, Lester hadn't given up a run in his last 17 innings.
That's going to be a base hit into left field. Brian Roberts will have to stay. Throw in will hold him, but the Orioles get the first 2 on against Lester. 2 for 2.
Yeah, that 17-inning scoreless scheme somewhat in jeopardy right here. A little breaking ball, maybe a cutter at 88, and Cesar Izturis, this is his best side. I mean, he came in close to 300, hitting 292 right-handed, so he's all over that slider that's up in the strike zone.
Great chance for the Orioles to jump on Lester here in the first inning. Matt Wieters has moved up to hit in the number 3 spot in the continuing progression. As he gets better, he hits higher in the lineup, gets some RBI chances, and bats 3rd, and here's the RBI opportunity early, and he will foul that one off. Dave Tremblay, when I asked him about Wieters moving into the lineup, into the 3rd hole for the first time, said the progress that he has made as a player, both at the plate and behind it, are evidenced really by the position he's hit in the lineup. As he's gotten better, we keep moving him up. That's what we plan to do. Let him get used to the pitchers and the league and the catching. Now give him a chance where we think he's going to be for a career. And that's up in the lineup.
Yeah, the only problem with that is that if against left-handed pitch, he's hitting 214. So I buy that off because he's really much more confident. But tonight, you're just hoping. And again, it's not like he hasn't had some at bats. He has 112. So this is a strikeout pitcher against the guy that so far, and I think that he'll certainly make those adjustments against a guy that struggled from this side of the plate. Entirely different hitter when he hits left-handed.
0-2 count, runners off 1st and 3rd. Lester's delivery. Wieters will take it inside. Martinez knocks it down and holds the runners.
But what Matt has been doing so well is the situational hitting. You know, look for balls right here. I mean, those are the numbers we talk about. So if you had a right-hander out, I'd be all for hitting him 3rd. I don't think it really makes a whole lot of difference because once the game starts, you know, you're not hitting 3rd anyway. But in this inning, of course, Lester, he's thinking, you know what, I got 211 strikeouts. Why not try to get another one right here?
1 ball, 2 strike count. Wieters, that takes you down, baby. A base hit up the middle. And the Orioles take the 1-0 lead, and Wieters continues to have a magnificent September and rises to the occasion again. Orioles up. And that takes care of the scoreless streak for Lester.
Yep. Ball in the middle, bullet back up the middle. I think everybody talking about how the game has slowed down for him.
Wieters gets it. Now Martinez will go out and have a word about how they want to work to Nick Markakis, who's in the cleanup spot. Nick has really had a struggle at the plate. Had a hit in the ball game last night and was 1 for 4. But in the month of September, batting just .228, does not have a home run this month. And John Lester, first inning runs entering tonight. 9 in 29 starts this season. Orioles have added 1 to that and still nobody out. Ryan Roberts crossing the plate, another one of those categories where he's in the top 10 in runs scored. Markakis will take the pitch, and it is in there for a strike.
Yeah, you mentioned the 17-inning scoreless scheme. I mean, in his last game, 8 innings, only 2 hits against Tampa Bay. And before that, in Chicago, pretty good hitter's park, he pitched a 4-hitter over 7 innings against the White Sox. So he's been on a roll. Good chance to get and do some damage early on here.
0-1 count. Markakis jammed him. Nick not going to catch up to that one.
Well, all good left-handed hitters, and I learned this from Mike Flanagan when he became a reliever after being a starter. He said they all have in common they cover the outside corner, so the two-seamer down and in, tough to get to, and that's exactly what Lester does right there. It's a pitch that he has worked on the last year and a half.
Markakis 7 for 32 lifetime off Lester. Runners is Torres and Wieters. The 0-2 reached for and fouled off, protecting the outside part of that plate, and almost got one over the bag at third, with Lowell playing off the bag against the left-hander. Nick trying to get to the 100 RBI mark, as he's got 94 on the season. He has been up there among the RBI leaders much of the year. He has dropped out of the top 10, in the top 15 still though.
And he needs 24 hits for 200.
Ground ball towards second base. Pedroia nails it and gets one. The Matador waved the glove. And a big play to get it out.
Gold Glover last year. Must have given it to him for some reason, and you see it right here. Once you come in and commit yourself, that's the only way you're going to catch it. Unbelievable hand or glove to ball coordination right here. He easily could have gotten by him.
Big play early on. Getting out. Now runners on at first and third. And Melvin Mora will stand in with one down. Melvin had an 0 for 4 in the ball game last night, hitting at .262 for the season, and he's been upping that average with a .298 in September. Need a paddle if you're going to hit that one. Strike one.
Well, the good slider, it doesn't look like a slider. That's the difference between a mediocre slider and one that looks like a fastball and then dives at your rear ankle. And I'll tell you, Lester has that type of breaking ball. We saw Ron Guidry up in New York last weekend. Well, he had one of those. 125-3 1 year with it.
Lester with runners on first and third. The 0-1 to Melvin Mora, chop foul. Well, a big ball game today has concluded, and Minnesota's beaten Detroit 6-2. The Twins beat Verlander, who went 7 1/3, giving up 5 runs on 9 hits, and as a result, the Tigers are in real trouble. With one more game in that series, Minnesota has cut the Detroit lead to 2 in the American League Central. The Twins have won 6 in a row, and the Tigers have lost 3 in a row. 0-2 count. Orioles have the 1-0 lead, trying to add to it. Timeout taken, and throws that one to the backstop.
A little late, and you know that the Red Sox don't like this. Lester's looking in pretty annoyed. I mean, and right there, everybody's gone. And the good news, he doesn't hurt himself, but it's easy to do that. Now, why would you call timeout that late? Melvin, he doesn't appear he's holding his hand up or anything.
Had to have asked for it, and the home plate umpire did not point to the catcher, so it wasn't Martinez who was asking for the timeout. 0-2 count. Off-speed pitch is taken outside by Mora, and it goes to 1-2. 4 hits, 23 at bats for Mora against the left-hander John Lester. This is one of these moments where the Orioles, even though it's the first inning, really need to drain this for all they can.
And it's hard to do that, Gary, once he gets ahead, especially if he settles down, considering the stuff that he has.
1 ball, 2 strike count. Mora will foul that one back, keep it alive at 1-2. Their best pitcher, John Lester, 13-7. ERA is 5th best. Strikeouts, as Jim said, are 3. He is just untouchable of late.
And 3 years ago, he was the type of left-hander, didn't have the command he had, and very rarely could get into the 6th inning because of pitch count. Just couldn't command it at that point in his career. Again, only 25.
Outside again with a breaking ball off speed, and the count goes to 2 balls and 2 strikes.
See, so Melvin getting back into the count a little bit. See, that's how tough it is to hit with 2 strikes. 0-65, under 100.
Here's the 2-2 delivery on the way, and that's a chopper. Chance for 2. And there's the big play that Lester and the Red Sox needed. The Orioles will get just 1. 3 hits, no errors, and 1 left on base. Orioles leading it 1-0. So log in, MASNsports.com. We go to the 2nd inning. It'll be Ortiz, Drew, and Lowell up against David Hernandez. David Ortiz last night had an 0 for 3. The designated hitter will take a strike on the inside corner. This season against the Orioles, hitting .266, 3 homers, and 11 RBIs. 0-1 delivery. Going for the flag cord on that one, and an 0-2 count. He, of course, has had the great second half home run wise, and is now 1 homer shy of 25. It would be the 6th season with 25 round trippers since joining the Red Sox. 25 or more. 0-2 delivery to Ortiz, up high. 1-2.
Yeah, hopefully the Orioles are hoping that David Hernandez will be a different guy. Again, when he pitched against the Red Sox 2 starts ago, 4 home runs, and they were all in hitters' counts. And when you get behind this team, especially in Fenway Park, where they have the best home record now, even better, one better in the loss column than the Yankees, they will put a hurting on you.
Here's the 2-2 delivery on the way, and Ortiz gets a towering pop-up. First base. That'll be handled by Wigginton. One down.
Well, there's your four-seam fastball. That's pretty much. David Hernandez says I occasionally throw grounders. So a live fly ball pitcher. There's your slider and the changeup. And of course, his slider sometimes looks a little bit like a curveball because he'll throw at different speeds. But what they're trying to do is keep the head still. Stop falling off to the left.
That's the strike to Drew.
And of course, Chad Muller, who's doing the catching tonight, he said he was so good in the bullpen. Rick Cranitz, the pitching coach, but when you get in the game, sometimes you try too hard.
That one down the line is going to be a base hit for Drew. Markakis chasing it into the corner. Drew on his way to second. He gets a double, and a 6-game hit streak comes with one down.
Well, late July, he put a 0 for 24 on, and since then he's hit over 330. And right there, just back-to-back breaking balls. Second one in the middle of the plate, and he hits a ground ball. The fast curveball's down and away. He probably hits it to one of the infielders, and because it's in the middle of the plate, he hits it right over the bag for a double.
Now, Mike Lowell, who did not play in the ball game last night, will get the RBI chance here. Lowell is one of the many Red Sox with gaudy numbers against the Oriole pitchers this year. Lowell hitting at .382. No home runs, but he does have 8 RBIs against the Orioles this year. He's coming in and out of the lineup depending on how that hip feels. Getting a rest a couple times a week. In the air to right. Runner will play it halfway. Markakis under it. Drew will tag, but not going anywhere. 2 down.
So take a look. Let's look from the Expo behind. So how still is his head? Because he throws a high fastball. Seems good, and then gets over. So it comes a little bit towards home. The last couple of games kind of really fallen over. You can't stay behind your pitches. So a high fastball to a high fastball hitter, and you get an out. Good sign.
And there are 2 down again. Drew remains on at second base. Josh Reddick. Reddick, the late insert to play for Bay in left field. Bay had been in the original lineup. Bay came out of the game last night, according to the Red Sox, with flu-like symptoms, and today out of the lineup again. Terry Francona said that it's his daughter who's had the flu, and he's felt it coming on and off here the last couple of days. Here's the 0-1 delivery, and that one is laced to right field. Way back. And goodbye home run. Josh Reddick, who wasn't supposed to be playing. And the Red Sox have a 2-1 lead.
Well, he's got 9 hits and 5 are for extra bases. And you can see 2 home runs. Watch this hanging curveball. He's just looking fastball, speeds up the bat, and it's gone. And now 10 home runs in the last 11 and 2/3 innings. Boy, the big fly really hurts you when you got a 1-run lead.
Second home run, 4 RBIs for Reddick, who's playing in just his 15th game. And for David Hernandez, 24 long balls against him now on the season. 12 by lefties, 12 by righties.
And that's 20 home runs in the last 42 innings. That's a lot of home runs.
A lot of home runs. Fouled off again. Gonzalez batting in the number 9 spot. Gonzalez has faced Hernandez only 1 at bat, and he got a home run. Red Sox have out-homered the Orioles this season 25-10 in homers, and that's the 17th, and next to the last game these 2 teams are going to play. 2 ball, 1 strike count. Josh Reddick mighty happy to be inserted in the lineup. So is Terry Francona right now. Pitch will be taken down low, 3-1.
You know, talking to David Ortiz on the bench, he was kind of a little discussion with Dennis Eckersley, who broadcast for the Red Sox, and he was talking about Jeremy Guthrie, and he said, Guthrie pitches me like I'm heading for the Hall of Fame. And he said, but what I notice is sometimes, and of course the Red Sox have a very good hitting line, doesn't throw the ball as well against the 8th and 9th hitter. And that's a perfect example. You know, David Hernandez is going to tell you tomorrow, boy, why did I throw a curveball to Reddick when I could have maybe just knocked the bat out of his hand? But he hung a curveball. He made a mistake and sped up the bat, and the rest is history.
Reddick took advantage. The 3-2 delivery is going to be fouled back by Gonzalez, who has taken the count to 3 balls and 2 strikes. In the starts for David Hernandez, the pitch count has also been a continuing problem. You know, obviously when you're giving up the runs and home runs, it can put the pitch count up. And he's had a hard time with a put-away pitch. 3-2 delivery, and that is going to miss. So after the home run, he surrenders the walk. And Gonzalez is on, first walk of the ballgame. Orioles and Red Sox will finish up their rivalry of 09 with a 1:35 start time tomorrow here at Camden Yards. Great seats still remain. You can spend one more Sunday afternoon of the season here at Oriole Park. The tickets start as low as $15. 888-848-BIRD to go to Orioles.com. Tough for Oriole fans. I mean, this is a predominantly Red Sox crowd here in Baltimore tonight. And much larger crowd even than last night when there were 26,800 plus. Here's Jacoby Ellsbury. He will foul it back. He popped out his first time up.
I think down the road, and we showed you the pitch grips, you're going to see David Hernandez start throwing some 2-seam fastballs. Chad Muller was saying they really work on trying to get his chin to get over his front side so he can get the ball down. So don't see too many ground ball home runs, do you?
No.
And I think the guy we saw last night, and we talked about a poster child for young pitchers in a sense, was Buchholz. Throws a lot of ground balls, throws a lot of 2-seam fastballs. Doesn't mean he can't throw the 4-seamer. 4-seamer has a tendency to have a lift on it. 2-seamer tendencies to run. And there's a great changeup.
Down low to him, and a 1-ball 2-strike count. Ellsbury started walking away as though he thought he'd struck out.
But I think the one thing, if we went back and showed you the 20 home runs over the last 42 innings, not one of them is down in the strike zone. So for David, he's just going to have to learn to pitch down a little bit. Not always, but establish low and then go up.
1-2 delivery with a runner at first, and he will take the pitch inside. 2-ball 2-strike count. Red Sox leader in multi-hit games and 4th in the league with 55 of them. Jacoby Ellsbury, who has taken over that leadoff spot. The Red Sox couldn't be happier about it. They've been searching for a leadoff batter last year, this year, and moved people in and out of that. And Ellsbury's clearly the one. He will watch that one down low. Dave Magadan said today he and Pedroia, Ellsbury and Pedroia, he said even in batting practice they square up in the ball better than anybody else in our ball club. So time after time, you look at their bats after batting practice and where the ball mark is, it's in the same place, right in the middle of the grain on the fat part of the bat. Runner goes, and he draws the walk, and Hernandez had 2 down, and Reddick hit the home run and now has walked the next 2 batters. Here's the head-to-head matchup on the year, with the Red Sox winning 14 of 16. A much bigger batting average, runs almost double, home runs more than double, and that ERA almost double. That's going to win you some games, and the Red Sox have one of them. Rick Kranitz out to have a word with Hernandez. 2 on, 2 down.
So what happened is as good a, and this is what's one of the problems facing the Red Sox or the Yankees or the Angels, is the fact that if you are too careful to Ellsbury, you pitch around to a guy that's already hit 3 home runs off you. And again, you popped him up the first time, but he's one of the best high ball hitters in baseball. You wouldn't think so. Maybe 5'6", 5'7". So now all of a sudden everything's being overthrown, and it's all because of one hanging curveball that got out of the ballpark.
Now he's got to try and get Pedroia during the 10-game streak, hitting at .325, 0 for 1 in this one. Career high is 17-game hit streak. We're still well away from that. Pedroia towards third. Melvin Mora will go to Roberts, and Hernandez gets the ground ball out. But a couple of runs in, the homer picked up by Josh Reddick. Red Sox lead it 2-1. Wigginton had an 0 for 3 in the ball game last night. And Lester gets the pitch in. Now the Orioles want to try and get back at Lester right now. They had their great chance in the first inning, got the first 3 on, ended up with only 1 run though. Lester getting the ground ball double play off Moore's bat to get out of the inning. Inside, Wigginton away, 1-1.
Yeah, I look at John Lester and I'm thinking, who does he remind me from my era? And the guy that comes to mind, maybe not quite as tall as Jim Cott. So he can win 16 straight Gold Gloves. Jim Cott used to release the ball and say, come on, hit it back up the middle, because he was so ready to catch it.
Lester with the 2-1 delivery. And Wigginton takes that one to left field. He got a good piece of it, and goodbye, home run. The Orioles tie it up as Wiggy drives one to left.
Well, that's nice to see. 5 for 10, now make it 6 for 11 with a home run. 2-1, hitters count, fastball in the middle of the plate. You can cheat a little bit. You could see him gear up, trigger the bat, and the rest is history as it sails out of here. Great hitting park here at Camden Yards, especially on a night like tonight. The elements really kind of neutral.
9 home runs for Ty Wigginton and his 35th run batted in, and a big smile to go with it. And this ball game is tied up at 2-2. The 18th home run hit off Lester. 11 of those hit by right-handers. Felix Pie. Pie goes the other way. A long run for Josh Reddick, and will not have a play. So Lester, the Orioles have now picked up 2 runs on 4 hits off Lester. Has beaten them twice this season. He gave up only 4 hits in 7 innings in the first one. He gave up no runs on 5 hits in 7 innings in the second one. And the third game that he won, 2 runs on 8 hits and 7 1/3. So by far the Orioles have gotten to him early. I think I said 2-0. He's 3-0 against the Orioles this year. PA with a 1-ball 1-strike count. Roller, Lowell was playing in right where he needed to be. Otherwise, that's a base hit. gets the out.
Well, good defense starts with guys that understand where to play, and then when they get the ball, strong arm from low. But you could see again the range diminished because of the hip. Hadn't hurt his hitting. Well, his range. I mean, we're talking about a guy that 3 years ago won the Gold Glove.
Chad Moeller. Solid numbers in the chances Chad's had. Only the 25th game. He hasn't reached 100 at bats even on the season. Couple of home runs, 9 RBIs. He is 0 for 3 against the left-hander Lester. The Wigginton home run, along with the Wieters RBI base hit, tying it up with Reddick, the 2 RBI homer for Boston. 1-0 delivery came in on him, and a 1-ball 1-strike count. Oriole bats have been pretty quiet. 157 average over the last 3 games. The Orioles had scored only a run in 18 innings prior to getting 1 in the first and 1 here in the second. And that's ironic because the Orioles staff had actually picked the pace up, and the Oriole pitchers have not done a bad job keeping an ERA down under 3. So that's kind of the way it's been.
Well, you like them, yeah.
The other comes down.
Yeah, like to play in concert. You can't always do it.
As a result, they played in some tight ball games. 1-2 delivery on the way. It froze him, but it wasn't in there. Lester thought he had that for a strike, and the count goes to 2-2.
Yeah, Dana DeMuth, after we've had some umpires that have had huge strike zones, so looks like tonight he's going to be consistent. I think he calls this for being low, but not very low.
2-2, that is low, and a full count, 3 balls and 2 strikes.
But at least through the what an inning and a third, or into the second inning, it seems like DeMuth is more of a hitter's umpire. We haven't seen that lately. Ball's 5 and 6 inches off the corner.
3-2 delivery and came in to get him, and Lester gets the strikeout. It'll be his first of the game, 212th of the year.
You watch his facial expression, it's almost like, well, do I have to do it again? And he does. Great slider down and in. And
look at the numbers he's put up against the tough Eastern Division. 22-5. Only Dan Herron a better win percentage since 06 against the East. You're joining Garland, Sabathia, Jared Weaver.
Yeah, 9-3 this year. Yeah, how about winning 9 out of 12 as he has this year?
3 of those, of course, the Orioles. He has picked up wins against Yankees, Toronto, Tampa Bay, a couple against Tampa Bay. Jeff Fiorentino against Lester, wants to go to the back of the mound here. 1 ball 1 strike count. Fiorentino at an 0 for 1. In the ball game last night. Big uppercut on that one, and a 1 ball 2 strike count.
Well, they're 20-9 in his starts, and they only get him 4.4 runs. Pretty good team record. That tells you how well he's pitched. I mean, with Beckett, they're 20-10, but they score almost 6 runs a game. 5.99.
Fiorentino goes down swinging. Lester's got a couple of strikeouts, but the Orioles get back to tie it up. Ty Wigginton, his 9th home run of the season, makes it The Red Sox 2-4-0 for the Orioles. Martinez, Youkilis, and Ortiz due up as we go to the third inning. Martinez extended his hit streak to 18 games with a single his first time up. That is a new career high for Martinez, and he now has the current longest hit streak going on in the majors. 0-1, couldn't hold up on it. Hernandez with the off speed.
About as good as you can throw a breaking ball. Wish he had thrown that one to Reddick instead of hanging it. And that's where the 2 runs came for the Red Sox, hanging curveball for a home run.
Martinez, the 0-2 delivery. Victor Martinez has excelled both at home and on the road this year. He's the leading RBI man in the American League in road games. Boy, you sure like to have that. Martinez 267 at home, 321 away.
And then you got Varitek 3 for his last 26 in the month of September, so it's not too hard to play Victor Martinez.
0-2 delivery is a towering fly ball towards center. PA. Martinez retired, 1 down. First 7 and last 9.
And I'll tell you what, I mean, even if you tried to throw 20 home runs in 42 innings, that would be hard to do. But what happens is the game changes. You try too hard. You don't make good pitches. The league catches up. I mean, there's so many factors that come into that. And he doesn't throw the ball where he just threw it to Kevin Youkilis. If he could throw down and away, and his windup doesn't allow. So he just got to keep working. I mean, then you find out whether he's got the stuff to be a starting pitcher.
Youkilis will take it to center. PA at 360. Oh, hello. Turning that one into a Cirque du Soleil as he turned completely around and then found the ball down around his waist.
Well, Gary, I get the feeling right here the ball hit at you is so difficult, and then it starts knuckling. Little Willie Mays. Maybe not on purpose. Willie did it on purpose.
He wants to smile, but not yet. And there are 2 down. Hernandez gets a couple of outs here. Now Ortiz, and he'll foul it back. Bear in mind, David Hernandez 2 starts ago gave up 4 home runs to this Red Sox team, including a grand slam, a 2-run homer, and 2 solo shots in a ball game won 10-0. Lasted only 2 2/3 innings in that game. 0-1 delivery is inside. Shelby, who works with the outfielders, will probably talk to him when he comes in about going back on balls again. 1 ball, 1 strike delivery. Ortiz launches one to the infield. Melvin Mora. So if you put the height into distance, we'd had a couple of home runs in the inning, but you don't have to do that. It remains 2-2. 2-4-0 the Orioles, 2-3-0 for the Red Sox. Red Sox have a 6-game win streak going against the O's, and the series win much longer than that. They've won the last 10 series that these two teams have played. Terry Francona's team just trying to make it an easy run to the end. Dave Tremblay's ball club trying to keep the faith, put some numbers up here to take home come October 5. One strike delivery on the way. Roberts a slow roller. Again, Lowe is playing in. How does the opposing manager feel about the Red Sox starter? Let's listen.
He seems like a real money type pitcher, you know. That's how I see him. And plus, you have to tip your cap to him for what he's gone through personally. You know, battling cancer and being such a incredibly strong person. You got to just, no, we want to beat their brains in tonight, but you have to admire what he's done.
Same term that was used by the Red Sox manager. Knocked down on the ELLSBURY ground ball. Lester got that one right in front of his face, but he got the glove on it and gets the out.
We talked about Jim Cott winning 285 games and 16 gold gloves, and then he just knocks it down, pounces on it, and gets himself an out.
2 down. Let's check in with Amber.
Well, Gary, Matt Wieters spent most of his time last year in Frederick batting in the 3-hole, and he told me he likes it there because he thinks it puts him in a better frame of mind as a hitter. He said if you're batting 4 or 5, sometimes you're thinking about hitting for power, and that can mess you up. But when I'm in the 3-hole, he said, I'm just trying to get on base, and that makes me a better hitter. So he's looking to get something going against Lester, but he told me that Lester is so tough because he is a power lefty, and in the minor leagues, you see crafty lefties, but not really power lefties. But here in the American League East alone, you'll see guys like Price, Sabathia, and Lester. Gary?
Yes, that, no question, makes an enormous difference. The guys who throw like these two that you mentioned do. Wieters did get a single off him and an RBI in the first inning. Matt in that 3-hole with Markakis and then Mora. 3-0 count from Lester, who has walked none, struck out 2. And Lester's going to step off. Outfield deep against Matt Wieters. Couple of steps to right. He'll take the pitch. It is on the inside corner. And the count goes to 3-1. Orioles facing a ton of left-handers this season. It's seeming like one right after the other. They are 22-32 against lefties. They've lost more games in the American League against lefties than any other team. Shoots that one into right for a base hit. So Matt Wieters is 2 for 2 off Lester. That comes with 2 down.
And that's exactly what Amber was talking about. Even the first time, an RBI situation, hit a fastball in the middle of the plate. This time, pretty good pitch down and away, just shot it into right, and it hit very firmly.
So the Orioles getting some hits. 5 of them off Lester so far, and it gives Nick Markakis an opportunity. Nick hitting .365 against the Red Sox this season. Couple of home runs. Markakis leading the Orioles with 16 RBIs against Boston. And the pitch is taken down low for a ball. He hit into a fielder's choice his first time up. Very short lead, Wieters. Markakis will watch, and that's going to miss down low. And again, Lester working from behind here. 2 balls and no strikes.
Yeah, Nick with out a lifetime home run, as we mentioned. Only Brian Roberts and now Wigginton with a solo shot to tie it up with home runs off John Lester.
Wieters being held by Youkilis at first base. 2-0 delivery, and that's outside. And Lester is behind 3-0 now on Nick Markakis.
Well, I let him hit here. Give him the green light. He may not feel comfortable, and if he doesn't feel comfortable, he won't swing. Let them hit a ball in the middle of the plate and try to drive it somewhere. Why not? Haven't beaten him 9-0.
And he will take that for a strike. 3-1. Nick has hit only 107 over the last 7 ball games, and the Orioles have really missed the RBI output. He has just 4 runs batted in the last 13 games. Nick on the season as a whole, obviously, a whole lot better in both categories. And Lester will step off.
Well, the one thing when they lost Huff, and of course last year more extra base hits than anybody else, but he had driven in 72. He was hitting 324 with runners in scoring position. Not as many home runs last year, but he was a guy that you knew was on deck hitting behind Markakis. So whether it's Huff or anybody else, it's nice to have somebody that, and we saw it so how often, how many times that if you pitch to Ortiz, and here are these numbers, and he only has 16 home runs, so either he has 14 and 2 or 1, whatever it is, but he had to hit a lot of home runs. So and we saw it all the time. Every time Ortiz would come up, who would be on deck? It used to be Manny. Now it's Jason Bay or Euclid. So it's nice to have threats behind you.
3-1 delivery. Good job by Lester to get back in the count here and take it 3 balls and 2 strikes. Dave Tremblay talked about before the game today, saying the obvious need for a power hitter, a true number 4 hitter in the lineup, has to be one of the key offseason moves that the Orioles make. That will probably get some better pitchers for the whole middle of this lineup if they can find that. But of course everybody's looking for the same thing, especially from the right side. 3-2 count. Runner goes with 2 down. That one's going to be to third. Lowell makes the play and gets the out. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, 1 left on base. It remains a 2-2 ball game. Smithix in the middle. It is foul back by J.D. Drew. Drew delivered a double. Now has a 6-game hit streak. Drew will be followed by Lowell and Reddick. David Hernandez has walked 2, struck out 1. That's an Adam ball. Fiorentino. Hernandez living true to the high ball fastball outs, which are fly balls, and that's what they have been here with the one leaving the yard off the bat of Reddick.
Yeah, you look back to that inning, Drew with a curveball over the bag for a double that you talked about, and then the hanging curveball to Reddick. So in the air, but tonight it's been the breaking ball that's got him in trouble.
Pitch will be taken outside by Lowell and fly down his first time up. Watching Mike play tonight, commenting between innings, sometimes it looks like Mike's having a hard time even bending over. 1-0 delivery. Is that?
He was saying up in Boston, saying up in Boston that he got the shot, and that's when you talked about him going on the disabled list, and when they've been resting him, he said he actually, it doesn't appear that way, but he said it actually feels pretty good. But he did have the operation on the hip. But again, you watching him, I mean, we're talking about a guy that used to be, extremely agile at third. He's got great hands and his great throwing arm. It just looks painful to actually go and field balls. Now hitting may be entirely different.
Here's the 2-1 delivery to him, up high for a ball. He's hit safely in 17 of the last 22.
Good numbers with runners in scoring position. He's always been able to do that. First year drove an 80, next year 120, last year hurt.
He always has kinds of a pained look on because of the intensity in which he plays. 3-1 delivery on the way, and we'll foul that one back, and he shakes his head. He wanted that pitch to drive and didn't get it.
He also doesn't walk a whole lot. He's pretty aggressive. Look at those numbers against the Orioles. And again, as you mentioned, no home runs, but that average at 371.
3-ball, 2-strike delivery to him, and he'll foul it away. He passed a pretty impressive mark for third baseman this year. He has 25 doubles. It's the 10th straight year he's had 25 or more. That is now #1 all time major league for third baseman, as he passed Wade Boggs, George Brett, Brooks Robinson, and Harold Clift, who played a long time ago. Melvin Moore running throw. Nope. And boy, Lowell could hardly make it down to first base. He may say he's feeling all right, but he's playing about 50% at times.
Yeah, Melvin's going to try to do a Brooks Robinson right here. Doesn't get a whole lot on the throw, and then it bounces, and Wigginton can't get it up. So again, just not a lot of foot speed.
That's like a guy carrying a yacht behind him that's tethered by a rope.
Yeah, really broke it down as he approached the bag.
So he is on. It'll be a base hit. Lowell gets the infield single, and that will bring up Reddick, the home run hitter. Reddick delivered his second. That came in the second inning.
And we're talking about hanging breaking balls, and he just gets it up, and gosh, Reddick does the rest of it. Anytime you elevate a breaking ball, it's, first of all, it speeds up your bat, but you have all the leverage in the world to get it in the air.
Reddick spent most of his time at AA, did get some AAA time in. Called up by the Red Sox 3 separate occasions. This last one with the expanded roster. Combined 245 with 13 homers in 81 games at AA, AAA. 1-0 delivery to him. And a 2-0 count. One down, Lowell on. Ball game tied at 2-2. Hernandez up to 60 pitches thrown in the ball game. Reddick will take it inside, and Hernandez falls 3-0.
See, if again the two-seam fastball would come in effective, he could get a double play ball, which he doesn't do very often because he's a fly ball pitcher. All of a sudden you could have some easy innings. And then again, right now he's just not commanding his stuff either.
Taking all the way and missed 4 straight.
Well, I'll tell you what, when he finishes delivery, he can look right at Dave Tremblay in the dugout because he's just peeling off. And so try to keep the front shoulder. That's your steering wheel. But see how he opens? And then he just goes going left. And almost virtually impossible to throw a ball down and away to a left-handed batter.
So now with 2 on, he will deal with the number 9 hitter, Alex Gonzalez, who drew a walk his first time up. Hernandez has been able to get away with the free passes so far. He walked 2 back-to-back in the second. Neither scored. Now a single and a walk here in the 4th inning. And again, Moeller's going to go out to have a word
Well, see, he's lost his arm slot, and what happens when you go left, your arm drops and you get under everything. I mean, he really dropped his arm, and Rick, granted, again, we go back to what they try to do in between, which is relax and keep your lines a little bit straighter to home plate, and it's so hard to do during the game, especially for a young pitcher, that struggled.
He's not had a win in the last 6 starts. The last win came on August 11 against Oakland. He has had 4 losses and 2 no decisions in the last 6, including losses to Tampa Bay and Boston in his last 2 starts. 1-0 count. Gonzalez with runners at first and second and 1 away. Gonzalez will take the pitch up high. 2-0.
And then if you're Dave Tremblay and you're managing the O's, you just have to get somebody up. And still, you're very much in this ballgame. 13-man bullpen.
Runners off first and second. Here's the 2-0 delivery. Popped it up. Mora. He's got it. Why was that a big out?
Yeah, well, Gonzalez, he's a very aggressive hitter. He swings the ball 3 up and in. So very fortuitous for David Hernandez. Got it close enough where he chases it. And then right there, Mollers takes one look at Moore, and he goes, if you're not going to get it, I'll get it. But Melvin comes to the rescue for the second out.
Now there are 2 down and 2 on. And Jacoby Ellsbury will stand in. He has drawn a walk and popped out. A 307 hitter with runners in scoring position. This is a 2-2 ball game. The RBIs in the second inning on the Reddick homer came with 2 down. And the second, a line shot caught by Roberts. That ball was rising as Roberts dove and hauled it in. That'll retire the side with 2 left on.
Home run. The last home run he hit was back on the 2nd of August, and that was against Buchholz and the Red Sox.
That'll be YouTubed, ESPN to death. That's a great shot by our crew. Josh Reddick literally just standing on air out there.
Seems like a rather high energy young player, wouldn't you say?
Yes. Melvin Moore again stepping out. He did that before against Leicester. There's Reddick, who wasn't supposed to play. Bay was supposed to be out there, so of course Reddick's got the home run. 1-0 delivery, and Melvin Moore. Reddick, can you walk on air this time? Oh, goodbye, home run. Melvin Moore gives the Orioles a 3-2 lead.
So Melvin, whose last home run was against Texas, and Kevin Millwood, and once again airman. Well, last night we had the Air Force honoring them. Up, and away.
Yeah, up and left field. Second home run in the ball game off Lester. The Orioles take a 3-2 lead on their 6th hit of the ball game. Melvin Mora getting his 8th home run and his 43rd RBI. 1-0 delivery to Wigginton, who had the homer in the 2nd inning. Wigginton now 3 for 7 off the left-hander. Orioles here in this ballpark have been out-homered on the year, 99-89 this season. But in this ball game, the Orioles have out-homered the Red Sox 2-1 so far. Ty Wigginton with a 1-ball 2-strike count. Melvin Mora with a long ball, and right now the go-ahead RBI. Wigginton will take the breaking ball. It is inside. 19 home runs have now been surrendered by the Red Sox left-hander. He has given up a couple of home runs in about 4 ball games. Never has given up 3 this season. And he had gone through a string. He hadn't given up on a home run in a ball game for the last couple. Last 2 homer ball game was at Florida, got it on June 18. He'd also given up 2 homers against the Yankees and Cleveland. Backhanded at third by Lowell. Long throw. Will be there in time. Wigginton is retired. 1 down, 4th inning. On Friday, October 2, don't miss the final fireworks night of the season. We hope you'll come with family and friends and enjoy the explosive night here at Oriole Park. And it's going to be, of course, Fan Appreciation Weekend all weekend. Special $1 mass and maximum access tickets are available for Friday and Saturday. Go to Orioles.com to get them. Felix P.A. grounded out his first time up. Orioles trying to break the 6-game win streak the Red Sox have against them. And PA will take the pitch inside for a ball. Dodgers are leading the Giants 11-1 in their ball game. That one is smacked to right field. Started in. Drew misplayed it. Off the base of the wall, but he's got a chance at second. Here's the throw. PA's in. Drew did not expect PA to be running after he misplayed that, and then had to hustle a throw, and it's a double.
Yeah, when you have exceptional speed, Felix PA not a good base stealer. I mean, it's 1 out of 4 this year, only attempted. And right here, you just a little extra hop right there. Drew with a strong arm, as you can see right here. Puts it off the end of the bat. I think Drew thinks it's hit a little softer. It goes over his head, and no hesitation. So exceptional speed gets him into second.
7 hits in the ball game now for the Orioles. Chad Muller, a strikeout victim with an RBI chance. 1 down. Muller will take the pitch inside for a ball.
Great thing about hitting a ball, especially in this ballpark, down the right field line, is it plays right in front of you. So you can see how quickly you get, how you can sense how hard you hit it. Because if you're an Oriole player, you've had enough experience to see how outfielders play it. Markakis for the Orioles does it about as well as anybody.
Muller takes it. Lester has, very un-Lester-like, worked from behind to a lot of hitters in this ball game.
You know, one of those nights they talked about Clay Buchholz last night. They said his stuff was flat in the bullpen. Of course, he only gave up 1 run. Tonight a little different for John Lester. It has been a struggle.
2-0 delivery on the way. Chad Muller will top it foul at the plate. And a 2-ball, 1-strike count.
Well, what an incentive to face a guy like Lester, as good as he is and as well as he's pitched. Came in with a 17-inning scoreless scheme. I think the Orioles are well aware they've never beat him. And they've only, you play teams 16 times and you only beat them twice.
It's not good.
No, but you also want to win. I mean, it's hard to do it. Because if it wasn't, you would have done it more often.
No, they know, and we've talked about it in the other series they played against the Yankees and the Red Sox. It's how you measure yourself. They are the teams you're going to have to beat. You're not going to be relegated to a lesser division. So you better find a way to beat Red Sox and Yankees, or at least play 500 against them, and then try and do the rest against the others, because that's exactly what the Red Sox and Yankees do to the rest of the East. 2 ball, 2 strike count. PA off second base. Good secondary lead. And Chad Muller, and a ball coming in on him, fouls it off to hold the count at 2 balls and 2 strikes.
And the one thing about the Red Sox, as good as they are in Fenway Park, where they're 30 games over 500, they're not a good road team, 35 and 37. So you got a better chance to beat them on the road, you would think, or at least when they're on the road. But it all comes down to how you pitch, because when you have a ERA of 6.75, hard to do that. But maybe this will be the night.
Their average, the Red Sox, 30 points better at home than it is on the road. The Orioles, of course, have had much the same. The Orioles have been a team that has led the American League in home batting average for much of the season. Dave Tremblay's team put up a lot of hits and a lot of runs in this ballpark. And there's been an ongoing problem with Martinez and Lester tonight, trying to get the signs down. It's about the 3rd time that Martinez has had to go out, and there have been a couple of times where Lester has just stepped off and asked for the signs to be given again.
Well, he comes in 40 and 15 lifetime. Those are unbelievable numbers. And you know, most of the time, in fact all the time until Martinez was traded, it was Varitek behind the plate. So this is a little different. Doesn't mean you can't have success.
Terry Francona talking with him before the game today. It is one of the issues the Red Sox are going to have to deal with, as he put it. Said, we've got decisions to make and I don't have an answer as to when Varitek plays and when Martinez is going to play for the rest of the season in the playoffs. They've got to have Martinez's bat in the lineup. They kind of cringe at taking the captain Varitek out, especially when Beckett's pitching, but it is under consideration how they're going to work that. And ball towards right field. PA will wait. It'll be caught. Nowhere to go. Drew gets it back in.
Well, they can get Martinez's bat in the lineup at first base, but that'll hurt him a little defensively. And then move Euclid to third. I mean, they have some options, but then again, sometimes in usually good pitching stops good hitting. Maybe you need that bat. I mean, it's just so many ways you can go. And as we mentioned last night, it looks like the Red Sox, in fact, almost a sure thing, unless they come back and beat the Yankees for the American League East, how they're going to start on the road
against the Angels and John Lackey. 2 down. Fiorentino, and the pitch is taken up high for a ball. So the Orioles get a shot here, chance at another run. Melvin Morris had his 8th home run to give the Orioles a 3-2 lead. Fiorentino, if he can get a base hit here, PA will easily score from second base. 1-0 delivery. And a 1-ball 1-strike count. Talking about the Dodgers' 11-1 lead over the Giants. They're in the 7th inning. Colorado has a 2.5 game lead on the Giants in the National League wild card race, and Colorado won't play until later. They're just getting underway in their ball game at Arizona.
Yeah, they've lost 5 out of 6. They beat last night.
Ooh. Way outside there, and a 2-ball 1-strike count. It's about the only real, well, there are 2 good races left now. Minnesota, having beaten Detroit today, that division race is wide open. Red Sox have a 7-game lead over Texas in the American League wild card. PA off second base, 2-1 delivery, grounded to first base. Gobbled up by Euclid. 1 run, 2 hits, no errors, and 1 left on. Melvin Moore delivering what is now the go-ahead RBI. Amber, thanks. I think that's where Amber is right now, actually. Here is Dustin Pedroia. Tried to launch one. Fiorentino. One pitch and one out.
Yeah, I told him, I called him the pest. I said, were you a pest in Little League? Did it start there? He said, I can assure you I was not a pest in Little League. I had 15 home runs one year in Little League.
Oh, I said, I'm surprised it wasn't more.
4-4? He just laughs. Very competitive player. Doesn't like to make outs. Nothing wrong with that if you're a hitter.
Yes. Here's Victor Martinez, a single and a fly ball out. Career high 18-game hit streak. He's now had 3 hits in 7 at-bats in the first 2 games of this series. Hernandez inside to him. David Hernandez trying to get a win, his 5th of the year. Trying to muster his way through this ball game. The 2-run homer by Reddick in the 2nd inning. The runs for the Red Sox. Boston has had other chances. They have left 5 on base in the ball game.
See, and then if he could repeat that windup and throw that pitch and move it over about a half an inch, or maybe get the call in the corner, pitching would be a lot easier.
2-0 delivery to first base. Fair ball. Wigginton. Come on, you got it. Makes the play.
Wow, Wiggy. Sometimes he plays first like a goalie.
Wait for that smile. Somebody's going to be on him here in a minute.
Well, this ball hit sharply, but he gets in front of him. You can see a great angle right here from the expo. There you go. A little kick save. A little knock it down. There, David Hernandez appears out of nowhere to get it.
It's like playing second base. I got plenty of time. As long as I can knock it down, I can make a play. He did. Why would Hernandez like to have a quick inning here? 2 down. Euclid has struck out and flied out. And takes the pitch for a strike, 1-1.
I love it when you call a close pitch on Euclid. I'm surprised he doesn't hurt his knee. He's still saying, "Are you sure?"
Every pitch, every at bat is World War III. 1-1. You gotta love that. I mean, that's just the way he plays.
And I asked him, I said, you know, a lot of times when you have that kind of attitude, it'll make pitchers want to get you even out more. And he said, listen, I never try to show anybody up. That's me. Why change it? That's part of my success formula. I'm not trying to show anybody up. I'm just trying to be intent.
2-1 delivery, grounded to short. IZTURIS. And a fine inning for David Hernandez. That's what you want, the inning after your club gives you the lead. Go out and set them down 1-2-3. Next to Nolan Reimold, who's come out and onto the DL. That allows Martinez to get back with the ball club. Pedroia knocks it down and will get Brian Roberts. So Roberts, one pitch and one out here in the bottom half of the 5th inning.
So we have one guy that's going to have the frayed Achilles fixed on Wednesday, so he won't be dancing about 3 months. That's Nolan Reimold, and the guy to our right, his left, that can dance for him.
Hits already.
But he had bandages all over his hands because when that rehab, he said, my hands, after you don't hit for 3 months, you're healing that thumb, because he had a ligament tear and they had to go in and repair it. He said you get blisters real easy.
All those calluses are gone. That is a strike on the outside corner. HERNANDEZ a base hit. He has gone 1 for 2 in the ball game.
And that average creeping up. As we mentioned, much better hitter, natural right-handed hitter, hitting close to 300. Came in at 292 from this side.
Swung on and missed, and a 1-ball 2-strike count. Lester has walked none rather, and struck out 2. Hernandez has walked 3 and struck out 1. The Orioles have the 3-2 lead, out hitting the Red Sox 7-4 at the moment. And Lester again taking too long, and HERNANDEZ will take the timeout. One-two delivery to him. Lester either unhappy with himself or the umpire, but certainly not happy after that call. And the count goes to 2 balls and 2 strikes. Data DeMuth has the plate. Doug Eddings, Brian Knight, and Hunter Wendelstedt, the umpires. 2-2 delivery. Swung on, foul, tipped into the mitt. Lester will get the strikeout, his 3rd. The Orioles will finish up this homestand and their season against the Red Sox tomorrow on MASN HD 130. Then it's off to Toronto for games on Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday nights. Thursday's an off day, and weekend games in Cleveland on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, as the Orioles have a pretty long road trip, 3-series road trip that will conclude with 4 at Tampa Bay, and then they come back home for the final weekend in October. World Series, of course, could end in November this year in light of the scheduling, and the schedule that just came out for 2010, it can happen again in 2010.
Yeah. I think that, I mean, and they've discussed, and I think it's a change they should make, that the division series should be 4 out of 7. So if they ever do that, then they better start like they did last year, which was, I think, March 31st. This year the season starting later. You start the first week, or really through the first week of April, you're going to be into November.
That's not right.
No.
That is just too late. Here's the 2-1 delivery on the way.
Well, it really is, and of course they've talked about it for years. Maybe you can size the schedule, whether it's back to 154 games. But again, the teams that open the gates, like the Red Sox, and make money every time they open up, they don't want to give up gates.
They want them all.
Yep.
And all these promises have been made to spring training sites and cities, so you don't want to cut that back either. Base hit into left field. So Matt Wieters has had a 3-for-3 ball game against John Lester, hitting in the number 3 spot for the first time. 3 singles and an RBI.
So that 214 average, Dave Tremblay must have known something against lefties. Thing of the past. Well, again, you hit 3rd, and it's usually your highest average guy. One hand. Foot down, ball's traveling. And again, just kind of flings it into left.
Nick Markakis, 1 for 6 in the 2 games. He has hit into a fielder's choice and grounded out. Orioles now have 8 hits off John Lester. And a slow roller foul. Lester's not given up 8 hits in a ball game since the last time he faced the Orioles on July 25. That was the last 8 hits against him. He's gone 8 ball games since without doing it, and now the Orioles have hit for 8 again.
And that was through 7 1/3. He got him runs early. He had a 5-2 lead when he left. But run support really does make a difference. He's the least supported starter on the staff.
Outside, Markakis watches it, and it goes to 1 ball and 1 strike.
I was reading last night, Tampa Bay goes home. They beat Toronto 11-4. James Shields had not won a game in Tampa Bay since June 4th. And that's mind-boggling. I mean, they have a great home record.
Your own ballpark.
Yeah. The way they play at home and the way he can pitch.
Markakis thought about it, stayed off it.
And Gary, in that game, we talk about run support. Now, Jeremy Guthrie went a little bit shy of 6 innings, didn't get a lot of runs. He got 4 runs, he gave up 4 runs and gave up 9 hits, pitched 6 innings and got a win. So again, a lot of it is sometimes not how well you pitch, when you pitch, how well your team is supported, and then how good your bullpen is.
2-1 delivery is a strike call. Markakis thought that was where the other one was. And a 2-ball, 2-strike count from Lester. Lester's really had to work in this ball game. Both pitchers have. Even though it's a 3-2 ball game, been a lot of pitches thrown. That's 88 for Lester. David Hernandez on the other side. He's worked behind in counts at times. Got his best inning his last time out. 2-2. Foul back on the helicopter follow through. It'll stay at 2-2. Red Sox will be continuing on a road trip after tomorrow's final game here in Baltimore. They've got stops in Kansas City and then against the Yankees. It is a 10-game, 10-day road trip. Orioles have only 5 left at home, including this one. They are 36-40 here. Swung on and missed. Lester wins the battle. Came inside, gets his 4th strikeout. No runs, a hit, and a base runner left on. Orioles up by 1.
At first and second. The game would be tied otherwise.
Big Poppy stands in. He has popped out twice. 0 for 5 in the 2 games so far.
Here we go. Takes the walk again.
Yep.
I missed it.
I missed it. How could I possibly have done that? I'm David Ortiz. It should have been a home run. They all should have been. He's a 266 hitter with 3 home runs against the Orioles this year.
I'd just like to see David do that against Nolan Ryan. It's like when guys used to bunt against Nolan. Mark Belanger attempt to bunt, not too often, but he'd do it. He'd take the ball, walk about 15 feet from home plate, and start rubbing it up. Like, don't ever do that again. Or when people thought they were scuffing the ball, so I said to Phil Bradley once, I said, "That's the umpire to check the ball." He said, "Are you crazy? You're going to hit me in the side of the head." So when you take a stroll like you just missed the pitch,
you ought to get one in the ribs.
Well, not with a 1-run lead, but
yeah, but later.
Yeah, or at the appropriate time. Because that's how the game has changed.
Oh my gosh. I looked the other night, I don't know why, but I was looking to see if the fraternization rule still existed. It does.
Yeah.
It's still in the book.
It's a love fest.
Players are not supposed to fraternize while in uniform. Hit in the air to right. Nick Markakis going back. Going to have to play it off the fence. Ortiz going to try for two. Here's the throw. Markakis got it in. Not in time. A double.
Yeah, Big Papi thunders into second. Thigh high inside. Boy, this is a sweet zone. All you got to do is drop the bat. Doesn't have to reach for it. And again, nice play by Markakis.
Ortiz up to .250 batting average in the month of September. Gets himself in scoring position with the potential tying run. Here's J.D. Drew, who chops it foul. But we're talking about the frat rule used to be enforced in Major League Baseball. When you were in uniform, you did not talk to other players on the field. Now, Jim was talking about if you ever watched before a game, especially out behind second base, when the players go out for their final warm-ups, you'd think you were at Woodstock all over again. Well, the hugging and the patting on the backside. And
well, it starts early on.
Yeah. Behind the cage, batting practice. And that has been a big change.
Well, when Carlos Tosca managed Toronto, he wouldn't let his players talk.
Yep.
And I mean, he just said, you can be friends with him, take him to dinner after the game, but when we come out, put our uniforms on, our job is to kill the enemy.
Down to first. Wigginton's got that one. Hernandez gets over to cover. Will move Ortiz up. Productive out for J.D. Drew. One down.
That's situational hitting. Right here, Chad Muller's going to go out because I would imagine they play the infield in. Of course, again, if you're Terry Francona and you have an expanded roster, if Lowell would get a base hit to tie the game up, you can pinch run for him. All kinds of options, even though it is only the 6th inning. But again, a fly ball pitcher, high ball hitter. He's trying to get a runner in, so we'll see how it plays out.
DeMarlo Hale, third base coach, talking to Big Papi. You got to believe that they're not going to send him until the ball is through. He's not going to go on contact, I wouldn't think. Lowell hitting .316 with runners in scoring position. 1 for 2 with a single in the game. Hernandez inside to him.
And I think I learned a lesson when I was David's age, is that you look over at third, that's the tying run. The go-ahead runs at home plate. So your pitch counts at 83. You got another 25, 30 pitches. Don't overthrow to this guy, which is the go-ahead run, because it's going to get you out of the game. I don't mean you give in to him. You make your pitches. You don't overthrow. If he hits a fly ball, he hits a fly ball. Game's tied. Worst case scenario. But invariably with young pitchers, what happens is they go for the strikeout, or they try to make the perfect pitch. This guy gets on. The guy on deck's already hit a home run off you.
That's going to be a base hit into left field. And this game is tied again. The RBI picked up by Lowell makes it a 3-3 ball game.
And he is one heck of a hitter when you get into a fastball count and you have to throw him a strike. Came in at .316 with runners and scores it. And again, this ball right down the middle. And he's looking to drive a ball, get it up in the air, get Ortiz in, and he certainly does.
So 3-3. Red Sox come back. Orioles had a 1-0 lead, trailed 2-1. Game was tied at 2. Orioles up 3-2. Now a 3-3 game in the top of the 6th. Josh Reddick, the home run came in the 2nd inning, his 2nd of the season. He has also drawn a walk. 6 hits on the board for the Red Sox, and Muller out to talk to Hernandez.
Well, he's out there because the first pitch was a strike, and Dana DeMuth called it a ball, and you could see the body language. Not exactly the strike to ball ratio you want. So Chad out to say, hey, calm down. Of course, it's easy to say that. You'd like to have it strike 1.
1-0 delivery on the way. Reddick reaches for it, drives it to center field. PA. Reddick is retired. Back to first base goes Lowell.
Well, another learning experience for David Hernandez, because you go back to the 2-run home run that Reddick's hit. It was a hanging curveball. When David Hernandez commands his fastball, he's going to find out that pitching's less difficult. And I mean by commanding it, both sides of the plate, down. When you want to go up, you can go up, and it's going to take some time. But the good news is he's got a power arm, and he's been able to stay healthy. And it's, last 3 years in the minor leagues, 145 innings each inning, each year. So he's had a chance to learn how to pitch, but never at this level. See 94 right here in the 6th, that you get into 90 pitches. No problem throwing the ball. It's just pitching sometimes has been a problem over the last 6-7 starts.
Alex Gonzalez, runner on at first base. Gonzalez has drawn a walk and has popped out. Hitting .286 on the year, taken down low. Gonzalez coming over from Cincinnati mid-August. Chris Negrin going the other way. He was hitting just .210 in 68 games with the Reds. He has since started 30 out of 32 since joining the Red Sox, and is hitting .286. Red Sox haven't made a lot of mistakes in the moves that they have made to picking up people. He's one of them.
Well, they needed somebody in the bullpen. They got Billy Wagner. They need a little defense. They got Casey Kotchman.
Needed a shortstop. They got Alex Gonzalez.
And they needed a guy, because Veritek's been up and down offensively this year. They went out and got Victor Martinez.
Those are big pickups to all be made in 1 year.
And they helped him in different facets of the game. Defense, offense.
1-2 delivery to right field. Nick Markakis coming. Not going to have a play on it. So Gonzalez is on. That will move Lowell down to second base. 2 on and 2 down. Tie game here in the 6th. And it turns the order over.
Yeah, I wonder what the advanced scouts say about playing him a little more shallow to the opposite field. It's 2 nights in a row now he's dumped one in. Not hit it well, but I'd like to wonder what the advanced scouts, if he's ever hit a ball hard to right center or over the right fielder's head, that they've seen. Because by that ball falling, you get this guy up.
Leadoff batter Jacoby Ellsbury, 0 for 2 and a walk in the ball game. 2 on and 2 down. Bullpen, Clay Meredith warming up. 0-1 count. There are 2 down here. Hernandez trying to get out of the inning and keep this ball game tied. 7 hits for the Red Sox, 8 for the Orioles now. Here's the 0-1 delivery to him. Pops it up. Melvin Mora coming over. Is going to have room, and he's got it. So Hernandez works his way out. A run in, 3 hits, 2 are left on base. Tied again, 3-3. Cardinals won again today, Amber, as they got a 2-1 victory against Chicago. What a disappointing year for the Cubs, and what an amazing year for the St. Louis Cardinals. They were on a cakewalk in their division.
I think Carpenter won his 19th game today. 19-6. He and Wainwright. Well, they're double trouble in any playoff,
especially in a short series. Here's Melvin Moore. He's delivered one of the Orioles 2 home runs, 8 on the year. 4th inning solo shot off John Lester. Lester no walks, 4 strikeouts for the Red Sox, their starter. And Mora will take the pitch inside. The Red Sox starters have been outstanding of late. I mean, even better than their season long numbers. They've allowed 3 runs or less in each of their last 11 games. The starters are 6-1 in those games, and the team's 9-2. The Red Sox have given up 3 in this one off Lester.
And then what, they average 7 innings too, so that allows Terry Francona to pretty much decide how he wants to use his bullpen.
3-1 delivery on the way to Moore, and he launches another one to left field. This one, though, is playable. Josh Reddick. 1 down, 6th inning. Don't miss your final chance this season to experience 2110 Utah Street, presented by First Fidelity Mortgage. On Saturday, October 3, Baltimore's hottest new address is back. Final time, $21 reserved Utah Street bleacher seat, the I Live at 2110 Utah Street t-shirt. Tickets 888-848-BIRD or Orioles.com. Right there. Ty Wigginton. Gonzalez up. 2 down.
Pretty smooth shortstop. You talked about you had some needs. I mean, that's a big difference. Obviously, the Orioles trying to get younger. They had to make some trades. Sherrill went to the Dodgers. Huff went over for a young right-handed reliever to the Tigers, and the Red Sox gearing up for the playoffs. So they need a defensive shortstop to go get Gonzalez.
2 outs. Orioles have not been retired 1-2-3 in the ball game. Felix Pie shows bunt, brings Lowell in at third. Pie has doubled and grounded out. Orioles have stranded 4. The Red Sox have left 7 on. Lowell stays in at third base. Pie shoots it out into left center. That's going to be a base hit. So the Orioles continue to have at least 1 man on in each inning. A 2-out single.
Yeah, Felix came in hitting 186, so a couple of hits tonight. Got to stay on the ball. Right there. Able to do it. Nice balanced swing. You'd like to think, seeing kind of hard to believe he's not going to be with the Orioles next year, that he will really work on his bunting and base running in spring training. 1 stolen base on the year. Got to get a little better in that category because it'll help himself and the team.
Chad Moeller got jammed. Lowell is there, and he's got it. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, 1 left, 6 complete here at Camden Yards, and a good ball game, 3-3.
Last night's ball game had a chance to pitch. So he comes into a tie game. Chance to get a win if he pitches well.
The bullpen has allowed just 2 earned runs in the last 14 innings over a 4-game span. They're going to need to do the same sort of thing here, as it will be Pedroia, Martinez, and Youkilis coming up in the 7th inning. Dustin Pedroia's had an 0 for 3. He has a 10-game hit streak, which obviously has not been extended in this ball game. 7th inning. 3-9-0 for the Orioles, 3-7-0 for the Red Sox. David Hernandez, the starter, out of there, non-decision. 3 runs, 7 hits over 6 innings. And you know the Orioles wanted to let him feel good about the start. The pitch count was up there, so even though non-decision, pretty gutsy performance. And a strike taken by Pedroia.
Well, when you mentioned the last outing against the Red Sox in Fenway Park, the 4 home runs didn't go near as deep. So yeah, physical, moral, whatever you want, it kept them in the game. Orioles have a chance to win if the bullpen can pitch well.
Matt Albers, that will miss outside.
So for Matt Albers, it's about sinking the ball. Pretty simple windup. He's got a curveball, doesn't throw it a whole lot.
Pedroia is 1 for 8 off him, and will foul that away. Albers against the Orioles this season. This is against Boston, rather, is going to be game number 9. He has worked 9 innings, given up 5 runs on 17 hits. The Red Sox have hit Albers this season at a .436 clip. Pedroia, 2 balls, 2 strikes. And a foul ball.
And you talked about trying to figure out a way to beat the Yankees and the Red Sox. 17 hits in 9 innings. If Matt's going to be on this ball club next year, it just has to get better. It's not about stuff. The interesting thing when you look at the way he throws the ball, I'm not talking about pitching, but throwing it, his velocity's up this year. A labrum problem last year, rehabbed it, didn't have the surgery. And he's been up and down 4 times because command's been the issue. So if you're a sinker baller, can you throw sinkers? I mean, can you keep it down and away? When he is, he's terrific. Can you get into hitters counts or pitchers counts? Too many hitters counts this year.
Here's the 2-2 delivery on the way to Pedroia, down to third. That is a foul ball. Melvin Moore, a fine stop, but in foul territory.
And that's the way you have to play. Brooks Robinson was here, and if you're going to cheat the line, especially when you have a right-handed pitcher that's more comfortable down and into righties and down and away to lefties like Matt, you'll probably cheat the line a little bit. What Brooks used to do is he'd come to the line, and then his move would be away from the line so he could still cover the hole. But then again, not too many Brooksies.
2-2 delivery to him is outside. So Albers goes 3-2 on Pedroia, the leadoff batter, in a 3-3 ball game. Hernandez walked 3. None of the 3 scored. Albers, though, not looking to let Pedroia on here as the leadoff man. Pedroia's got 62 walks and has struck out 42 times. Hit hard, and he's also got an 11-game hit streak. So a leadoff single here in the 7th inning. This copyrighted telecast presented by authority of the Orioles may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Orioles. Leadoff man on here in the 7th inning.
And he could run.
They've been on, and they scored in the 6th when Ortiz started it with a double.
They really have 3 guys that run on this ball club, and one of them is Pedroia, 17 out of 24. The other guy is Jason Bay, who leads them in home runs. He's 13 out of 16, and then of course you've got ELLSBURY, 62 steals, leading the American League.
Switch hitter Victor Martinez. Martinez 2 for 2 off Albers, hitting .355 when he bats left-handed, .277 right-handed.
And you would think he'd be looking for a ball to hit into the hole.
He's got an 18-game hit streak. He extended it with a 1 for 3, a single. He has flied out, grounded out. With the Red Sox, Martinez is hitting .298, 6 home runs rather, and 30 RBIs. Martinez has picked up extra base hits. He's had 11 of them since joining the Red Sox. This is game number 42 for him here. Pitches outside, and a 1-0 count from Albers. DeMarlo Hale at third. Signs being passed on here.
And you can rest assured that the Red Sox are looking all fastballs until Matt throws something else over. And he doesn't do that very often. So again, it's about location. It's all right if you're just going to throw all fastballs. Just keep them out of the middle of the plate and let them move.
1-0 delivery on the way. Yet Pedroia going back to the bag on that delivery,
which is kind of hard to believe.
Yeah, Pedroia wasn't real happy with himself. He was trying to walk off a pretty good secondary lead, and when Albers came to the plate, he actually started back to the bag. Nobody out.
Yeah, not a very big lead.
1 ball, 1 strike count. There he goes. He wasn't going back that time. No, there wasn't a taker's chance on that one.
Well, he did a little Brian Roberts. Matt doesn't stop him. Albers, you have to make him stop, and he doesn't do it, and it's pretty easy. He's going. I mean, Chad Moeller makes a throw. He doesn't even slide. When's the last time you saw a guy steal a base without sliding?
Chad saw that again. I wish he hadn't thrown that. It was a good play by IZTURIS just to come up in front of the bag, make sure the ball didn't get away. So the 18th stolen base of the season puts the potential go-ahead run now at second base. Pedroia gets it, and Martinez, with nobody out, his job now at least move him over to third base.
And it forces you to play your infield in if he's able to do that.
Martinez with a 2-1 count. Albers hits the foul ball, and it'll go to 2-2.
Hey, Matt Albers has a good curveball. You could see Victor Martinez trying to roll over and hit that curveball to the right side, but it went down so sharply. And now all of a sudden you're in a position where maybe you can strike him out. He doesn't do that very often. And I don't mean by throwing him a breaking ball down and in. That's where Matt gets in trouble. Take a little bit off, throw it in the outside corner.
Here's the 2-2 delivery, and that's inside, and it will take it 3-2. On the season, Martinez 72 strikeouts, but he's also drawn 69 walks. And for somebody who hits as often as he does, pretty good ratio of strikeouts and walks. Albers with a 3-2. Pedroia being held close to second by IZTURIS. Game tied at 3. Albers the 3-2. Victor Martinez, another one in this lineup that has put up the big numbers against the Orioles with that .470 batting average. Driven in 9 runs against the O's.
Yeah, beat him up in Fenway with a pinch hit 3-run double off of Danny Baez. First pitch, left center, 3 runs, quick ones.
Albers 3-2. Looking back at Pedroia. Martinez reached for it and gets the runner moved up. Brian Roberts will make the play. And Pedroia will go to third base with the potential go ahead with only 1 away here in the 7th inning. You saw Martinez on that play actually reach for a ball out of the strike zone that he might have even realized was out of the strike zone, but he wanted to make sure he got that ground ball, and he just flipped the bat to get it to the right side.
Well, they quoted Theo Epstein that all the players they got are team-oriented players. In other words, they know how to play the game. But not only do you get guys that are better than the guys you had, they understand what they're trying to do.
Infield is in. Kevin Youkilis 0 for 3 in the ball game. He gets the RBI chance. Pedroia, speedy runner. He might be going on contact here if he can get a big enough lead. Talking with his third base coach and watching Melvin Mora. Here's the 1-0 delivery. Off-speed pitch is going to be in there for a strike. Kevin Youkilis is second in both on base percentage and slugging percentage this year in the American League, and has the 4th best average with runners in scoring position. 1-1 delivery. Youkilis will take it inside. 2 balls and 1 strike.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how he hits over the next 10 days. He came off those back spasms, and it's one thing to say, well, yeah, I took 3 days off, but you know, and it looked like it last night in an 0 for 4, that maybe still bothered him a little bit. But you know he wants to play because of the importance of the games at this juncture of the season.
2-1 delivery time, swung on. It was, he fooled on that one. Really late on the delivery and a 2-ball, 2-strike count.
Yeah, terrific breaking ball from Matt Albers. Down, good break. Fastball count, great combination.
Infield stays in here. Pedroia short lead. Here's the 2-2 delivery. Youkilis will take it inside. So again, a full count. These two teams have played a number of ball games that have been decided by just 1 or 2 runs this season. 9 of them have been decided by 1 or 2. Boston, though, has won 8 of the 9. Here we are again, 3-3 ball game, 7th inning. 3-2 delivery on the way. Youkilis reaches and gets a base hit. He'll stop at first with the RBI single, and the Red Sox retake the lead at 4-3.
Well, that's the problem with breaking balls. We saw it with Reddick. He hit a home run, a 2-run shot off of David Hernandez when he threw him a couple breaking balls, and the second one was up in the strike zone. Watch where this one ends up. Just hangs up enough. Great approach by Youkilis. He's just trying to get a ball over the infield or up in the air, and there's Pedroia, who singled and then stole second. It's like a double.
86 RBIs for Kevin Youkilis. That will do it for Matt Albers. The Orioles down. Manny Baez coming on to pitch.
Norfolk with the Orioles last year, and kind of an audition for possibly the 2010 season. Nice job with runners and inherited runners in scoring position. None of them scored. Faced 5 of them. 12 on in the 9 appearances so far. None of them have scored.
He's got one here. Youkilis on at first base with the RBI single.
Yep.
David Ortiz has picked up a double and scored in the ball game. Ortiz just .213 off left-handers this season. 1 down. Shift is on, and the pitch will miss for a ball. The seesaw ball game continues that way late here in the 7th inning as the Red Sox able to get 1 so far. Credit Martinez helping out with that ground ball that moved Pedroia over to third base. 1-0 delivery down to first. That's a fair ball. It'll go into the corner. Markakis, Youkilis at third is going to be held. And another double picked up by Ortiz, his second of the ball game.
So Big Poppy, there you go. 32 doubles, ground ball. Look for the location. Glove away, ball in, misses by about 1.5 feet. Wigginton coming off the bag to take away the hole, hit right where he was standing. And Youkilis all the way to third.
Now the biggest at bat of this ball game is right here. There are two in scoring position. The Red Sox already have a run in, only one out, and the infield's going to be drawn in.
Well, nobody up behind him. I mean, you do have an option of walking Drew and try to load it up.
J.D. Drew will take it up high. Mike Lowell is waiting on deck. J.D. Drew has had a double, 1 for 3 in the ball game and a run scored. There's Lowell. For Drew against left-handers, 248 compared to 271 off righties.
Yeah, they're going to get somebody up in the bullpen in case he does not either get Drew out or walks him.
A 1-ball, 1-strike count. Roberto Castillo. Yeoman's effort will be needed here to prevent at least one more from scoring. 1-1. Swung on and missed. Off-speed delivery that Drew reached for, and it goes to 1 ball, 2 strikes. Meredith again. He's been up before, so it won't take long for Meredith to get ready again.
Well, this is how they qualify and quantify what you do as a left-handed reliever. Can you get lefties out? You couldn't get Ortiz out. Can you get Drew out?
1-2 delivery and another looper that's going to fall into center. Ortiz is going to be held. Here's the throw to the plate. Won't be in time. Scoring will be Kevin Youkilis, and the Red Sox take a 5-3 lead. RBI for J.D. Drew.
Well, similar to what Youkilis did against Albers. Watch him just kind of hang on and throw the bat at the ball. What do you do with 2 strikes? Do you cut your swing down, or do you overswing and strike out? Drew came in with 106 strikeouts, but not there. Terrific at bat on a very, very good pitch from Castillo.
2 hits in the ball game for J.D. Drew and an RBI, number 60 in the year. And the Red Sox now lead by 2. They have 11 hits. Those 2 runs will be charged to Matt Albers. Now Lowell's going to stand in. Castillo will stay out to pitch, and a strike taken. Lowell against left-handers, 305. 286 off the righties. He's got runners at first and third. Infield back now trying to get 2. The 0-1 delivery, that one's fouled off.
Well, you can just see the hitting approach of the Red Sox. And albeit the fact that you have had guys in scoring position, guys on third base, but you can see them not overswinging. Not that they can't hit home runs, they just right here, and it started with Pedroia's just single. Stolen base, great at bat by Martinez to get him to third base.
0-2 delivery, Lowell down to third, and that's foul, and Big Poppy foolishly puts his bare hand on that ball.
Well, that's why he's a DH. That's the closest right there. It's the closest you want David Ortiz to gloves.
That's right.
Batting gloves.
There you see against the East, 43-21, an amazing record. The best Red Sox record since '69 against the East. 0-2 delivery, and he's got a base hit into left center field. Ortiz will score. Lowell has a 3-hit ball game and 2 RBIs.
Well, Clay Merritt is wondering why he was up in the bullpen. If you're not going to bring him in with a double play guy and you have a sinker ball warming up, what's he up for? That's hard to believe that. And watch Lowe. I mean, this is just not a good matchup for the Orioles. You know, Lowe is hitting over 300 with runners in scoring position, over 300 against left-handers. They have a guy ready, and he takes advantage of that opportunity.
Brian Anderson will pinch run, and Lowell will come out of the ball game, and a very successful one for Mike Lowell, who did not play last night. 2 RBIs, 72 on the year, a 3-for-4 ball game for Lowell. And that will be it for Castillo. Albers, the third of an inning, 2 runs on 2 hits. And for Castillo, he pitches no part of an inning. He has given up 3 hits, 1 run so far. Clay Meredith will come on with 2. For this great souvenir calendar, the 2010 16-month calendar, with the proceeds benefiting the Maryland SPCA and their work with local homeless pets. To get your Orioles pet calendar, visit Orioles.com today. Clay Meredith out of the bullpen.
He's been pitching well, and he'll come in, and it will not be a righty. It'll be a lefty who got 3 hits last night.
Casey Kochman will be the pinch hitter as Josh Reddick, who delivered a homer, 2 RBI homer, comes out of the game.
You know, the Red Sox have really gotten the advantage in the matchups this inning.
And there are 2 on with 2 runs in. Drew and Brian Anderson is pinch running at first of the base runners. Casey Kochman with 1 down and 2 on. 12-hit game for the Sox now. And that will be taken inside for a ball. For Kochman, he's hit 133 off the lefties, but 273 off right-handers. 1-0 delivery to him. Meredith gets it in there for a strike, and the count goes to 1-1. Clay Meredith's become a real workhorse since joining the Orioles. Right-handers 286 off him, left-handers 233. Came over from the Padres on July 19. The Oscar Salazar exchange. 1-1 delivery is going to miss, and a 2-ball 1-strike count. Casey Kochman, a quality contact line drive hitter with some power. Grounds that one to Brian Roberts at second base. Got to go to first. So the runners will move up, but there are 2 down as Kochman's retired. Over to third base, Drew. Anderson goes to second. Alex Gonzalez, the shortstop. He had a single in the 6th. 1 for 2 and a walk in the ball game. The Orioles, if they do not get a win in this ball game, will not be able to have a winning season here at Camden Yards this year. There won't be enough games left. 4 more after this one. The Orioles 36-40 at home. Pitches outside for a ball. 2 down, 1-0 count. Red Sox have scored 6 and left 7 on base. That is fouled off. So again, a night where the Boston offense has put a lot of pressure on the pitchers by getting people on base.
And it all started here in the 7th. David Hernandez leads with a no decision, and then the bullpen that had been good. Which the Orioles, if you can get out of this inning, will take their shots. I would imagine, no, nobody up in their bullpen. Lester will come out for another inning. Even though it's going to be a long time. Of course, it's good news, bad news. Good news, you've gotten a lot of runs. Bad news, you've been on the bench a long time. You can usually put up with it.
Yep. There he is. John Lester has had a tough ball game, keeping the arm loose. 1 ball, 2 strike count. Meredith trying to find the final out here.
Yeah, he's had a really good breaking ball the last couple of games, and there it is.
And got him swinging. So Meredith will get the strikeout, but the Red Sox gain the lead by increasing it to win.
Pitch. Mike, Dave Tremblay has a chance to match up with the sinker baller. Doesn't bring him in. Lowell gets a clutch hit off Castillo, even though he had good numbers. And then again, they scrap for runs. And the approach at the plate when you have runners in scoring position, they don't hit quite as well as the Orioles do. But tonight in this inning, I mean, Euclid had a great at bat. Drew had a great bat, one-handed swing, and all of a sudden you see the 6 runs on the board and the 12-13 hits, and that's the Red Sox.
Now the Orioles have got to battle back. Let's take a look at the defensive changes. Brian Anderson's come into the ball game to play in left field with Ruddick out. Euclid goes from first to third, and Casey Kochman, who pinch hit, stays on at first base. I was going to say earlier when we heard Dave Tremblay talking about John Lester as a starter, the term he used was a very strong person. Jeff Fiorentino is facing Lester here before the ball game, talking with Terry Francona about John Lester and innings pitched, which were over 200 last season, and he's got a chance of doing it again this year. There's a base hit. And Francona used the same words. Terry Francona says, last year you asked me the same question. I wasn't concerned then, and I'm not concerned now because John Lester is a very strong person, physically and mentally. I'm not concerned he goes over 210 innings. I don't care if it goes above the number he pitched last year. As far as we're concerned, that's fine. We trust him to be there.
And I think you forget how young he is. He's only 25. You see him, he's been around for 4 or 5 years, really 3 years, 40 and 15. And the one thing he said, and when we were up in Boston, was he said, after you get your feet on the ground, and I think this is what you hope from a lot of the Orioles young pitchers, that it may take a couple of years, is then you don't worry about all the extraneous stuff. You know what you have to do. You go out there, you train for it, and you just compete and pitch. And you're going to get that from Lester every time out. And, you know, again, if you're Terry Francona, as he comes out, he's got one of the best bullpens in the American League. So you get your starter to get you into the 7th inning, and then you take a chance with your bullpen.
So Lester is out of there. He's got a chance to go 10-0 lifetime against the Orioles and get his 14th win of the season. Billy Wagner will come out of the pen. The game in the first time since May 15, and that's the high number, but only 3 runs, and he's got a lead and a chance to win.
Yeah, he gives up a couple of home runs, but they're solos. So Billy Wagner, who did get the loss, broke their 7-game winning streak, even though if you went back and looked at Howie Kendrick looped one over the head of Pedroia for the winning run. The Angels winning on Wednesday night, so he comes in, and again an acquisition picked up from the Mets. Tommy John surgery just about a year ago, so a quick recovery. When we saw him in Boston, still throwing anywhere from 93 to 96.
Wagner goes to work here against Brian Roberts, and Roberts will take a strike. Fiorentino got the base hit, so the Orioles trying to get one more on, get the potential tying run up. Second best bullpen ERA, only Oakland better, and Seattle, Texas, and Tampa Bay in the American League. Wagner with the 0-1 delivery. That will be fouled straight back. Bryan in the ball game, a double, has scored a run, 1 for 3.
Pretty good swing at that slider right there. One thing about Wagner, you're going to have to not a lot of innings because again this will be his 9th game, 7 1/3 innings, but only 2 walks, 12 strikeouts. So he's been around. He was a closer. Well, he knows how to pitch. Not as overpowering as he used to be, but still gets it up there pretty quickly.
Here's the 0-2 delivery to Roberts. 385 career saves for Billy Wagner. He is 6th on the all-time save list and 2nd among lefties, only to the Mets former Met John Franco, who holds the lefties mark at 424 saves. Fiorentino on at first base. Can the Orioles make the run? It's been a big hit game, 22 total. 10 for the Orioles, 12 for the Red Sox. Nobody out. The 0-2 delivery. Roberts takes it up high, and a 1-ball 2-strike count. You get to Papelbon time, and the Orioles know they're in deep trouble the way he works against them. So you want to try and do it right now, bottom half of the 7th inning, before you get to that 9th or 2 down in the 8th. Here's the 1-2 pitch, and that'll be taken inside. Papelbon this year has come on and gotten saves working more than an inning. He's had 6 saves on the season where he has pitched more than 1 inning. So Terry Francona's been willing to bring him in the 8th where needed. That's Papelbon in the pen watching. This time of the season, probably not. They don't want to overuse him with the playoffs likely. 2-2 delivery on the way, inside out, foul ball.
And you have so many other options until you get the Papelbon. I mean, you can use Ramirez. They picked him up from Kansas City. We've seen him. He came in with the bases loaded, struck out Reimold and Markakis. I mean, there is Ramon Ramirez, so that's the last time they saw him. and he got behind both of them 2-0 and struck them both out in Fenway Park.
Brian Roberts fighting it off again.
And the reason you brought in Wagner is because you want to turn Brian Roberts around. Not that he can't hit for an average from this side, because he certainly can.
Radar said 100 miles an hour.
Well, you know, we saw he used to throw 100. We saw him as high as 96. The last pitch he threw up in Fenway.
2-2 delivery to Roberts is inside with a breaking ball.
But trying to get him out with sliders, Gary, and it runs the count to 3-2. I think I might try. If I could throw 100, I might have to mix in a few more of those.
I think until somebody hit the darn thing.
Yeah.
Wouldn't be much else I'd be throwing.
But I think what happens is you get a guy with a pretty good slider. He's thinking, okay, if I can get him to roll over, maybe a double play ball.
Willie Wagner with a 3-2 count. Fiorentino's on at first base. Running. Roberts lifts it in the air. Shallow right field. Katie Drew. He's got it. So Roberts retired on the 3-2 pitch and one away. Time to text in your vote for the AT&T Player of the Game. Your choices: Melvin Mora, a home run, his 8th of the season. Wigginton, he's had a home run as well, his 9th of the year. And Matt Wieters, who has had a 3-for-3 ball game and an RBI. Text in your vote A, B, or C to 518-62. One down is Turris batting second, 1-for-3, a single. And late on the fastball will foul that one off. Wagner working in just his second game against the Orioles this season. Obviously not available for much of it, since he didn't come over until August 25 in the deal with the Mets. Fiorentino, not a big lead at first. Orioles need one more at the plate, one more on, get that tying run up. Inside to him, 1-1. 39,285 the announced attendance tonight. 39285. Big crowd on hand. What a great night to watch a ball game, and it's been a good one. 1-1. Fiorentino steps off the lead a little bit more. Pitches up high, and Wagner takes the count to 2 balls and 1 strike. Bob McCrory up in the pen. Nick Tremblay said today McCrory's one of those he wants to get into more ball games, especially in the upcoming road trip, so the Orioles can take a better look at the reliever. 2-1. As Turris fouls it away again. 2 ball, 2 strike count. Juan Samuel at third. Fiorentino looking over. Kochman holding the bag on him. And a short backhanded Gonzalez won the relay. Oh, mercy. A major league double play that Gonzalez had to make a quick pick on a hard hit ball to get it started.
pitching poorly over his last 7, 8, 9 starts. He goes 6 innings, only 3 runs. Wigginton and Moore, both with home runs tonight. Ortiz with a couple of doubles. And Bob McCrory, last appearance was not a good one in New York, where he gave up 4 hits, 4 earned runs, and a base on balls. Did not retire a batter.
McCrory will appear in just his 2nd game against the Red Sox, a run and a couple of hits and an inning worked against Boston on the year. Jacoby Ellsbury at the top of the order is going to lead it off. He is 0 for 3, sorry, and a walk. He's trying to extend the 4-game hit streak from that .301 batting average. And the pitch to him is taken for a strike. Looking at the best 0-2 hitter next to Ichiro in the American League. It's something that most players do not have much of an average with, but he does. He's batting .327 when he has a 2-strike count. Only Ichiro is better at .316. For the Orioles, Nick Markakis, Adam Jones, Melvin Moore, Brian Roberts on 2-strike counts. You see the league average is 188. 188 when there are 2 strikes.
And that's a yearly average. I mean, it's usually, I think it was 185 last year. 1 year, Orlando Palmeiro led all of baseball at 275. That's how hard it is to hit with 2 strikes.
Ellsbury asked about it yesterday, said he didn't even realize that and didn't know why. Dave Magadan, his hitting instructor, said he thinks it's because Ellsbury is a much better breaking ball hitter than people recognize. And pitchers 0-2 tend to give you an off-speed breaking ball that may not be in the strike zone or not. He says Ellsbury is just a good off-speed hitter.
I think another reason is because you're walking with 62 steals. It is a double. And what I see is, I mean, Dave Magadan talked for really the last year and a half for him when we talk about Jacoby Ellsbury. If the front foot doesn't get down, he just can't time the pitches. And he's done a so much better job of that the last 3-4 months.
3-2 delivery will be grounded to the middle. IZTURIS not going to get him. Oh, wow. He is called out, and that's a "you got to be kidding me" argument right there.
Yeah, they had the lead. He's not going to argue it. Pretty good pitch. And then IZTURIS, great angle right here. Watch him. Snap throw. Doesn't take any time. And I don't know. Yep, he's safe.
Close play. Very close.
Well, if it's a tie, which it is, it's supposed to go to the runner. But it doesn't. Then the Orioles will take it.
Good play by IZTURIS. He knew he had to hustle it, and he did. Here is Dustin Pedroia. He's got an 11-game hit streak. He added to it with the single in the 7th inning. Albers worked a third of an inning, 2 runs, 2 hits. Castillo, no part of an inning, a run on 3 hits. Meredith, 2/3 of an inning and a strikeout. That's going to be a base hit into right field. Pedroia with a 2-hit ball game.
Yeah, I talked to Mike Griffin, who is the AAA pitching coach, who's been with the ball club since the season ended down there. And I said, tell me about Bob McCrory. He said, well, great stuff. When he pitches here, he overthrows everything. He said a lot of it has to do with just really calming down and breathing techniques and things like that. I mean, it sounds like it's hard, but I don't know, Gary. I mean, I've been around baseball since 1965, and guys come up, and when they're in the bullpen, every ball's at the knees. First pitch in the game is belt high because the grip pressure, and you just get agitated. And Mike said that's the one thing for Bob McCrory to ever figure out how to pitch here. You talked about Dave Tremblay wants him to pitch more. Well, we're going to have to tranquilize him.
They shoot horses at them. Down to first base and right through the wickets on Wigginton. Markakis over to get it. Runner will go to third. And that will be an error. And Martinez is on, and first and third with 1 away.
And that's not going to help you calm down. You see the ball just about, 4 inches from the grass. You're in no man's land. You'd like to take a step back. You don't have time. You don't have time to come in. And like Brooks Robinson once told me when we were doing games, he said when I came up on his way to 16 consecutive Gold Gloves, he said they taught me sometimes you just lay the glove on the ground because you can always come up. You can't go down. And that ball goes right underneath the glove of Ty Wigginton.
First and third. First error of the ball game. The RBI chance now will go to Youkilis, and only one away. Corey's delivery is outside. The right-handers had a couple of hits and 10 at-bats against him. Left-handers were 10 out of 19 against McCoy, starting this evening's work for him out of the pen. 1-0 delivery. Strike taken by Youkilis. 1 ball, 1 strike. Red Sox trying to make it 7 in a row against the Orioles and pick up their 15th win in 17 games this year against the O's. 1 ball, 1 strike count. Youkilis takes it. Red Sox magic number for the wild card is 10. Any combination of 10 wins by them and 10 losses by Texas, and they will be in the postseason, at least as the wild card team. Here's the 2-1 delivery. That one caught him in the batter's box, and a 2-ball, 2-strike count. Pedroia who started it with a single at third, and Martinez, who reaches on the error at first. Say one thing, the city of Baltimore makes some money off Boston Red Sox fans.
I know a lot of people have complained in the past, but great for the economy.
2-2 delivery down to third and foul.
Yeah, and Melvin, I'm surprised Melvin is 4 steps behind the base, because with 1 out, you're playing for a double play ball, but what if he doesn't hit it hard enough? You cannot afford to give him another run here. And he was way back at third base. That doesn't make a whole lot of sense. You never see a third baseman play that deep. What if it's a 2-hopper, slow roller?
Inside to Youkilis, full.
And Youkilis is not like he doesn't have good speed, because he does. He'll run every ball out full tilt.
3 ball, 2-strike count. Kevin Youkilis, a .319 lifetime hitter, lifetime against the Orioles with 13 home runs. And he's been right up there with the same kind of numbers this year against the O's. Batting .421. 3-2 delivery, and the bases are loaded. Single, an error, and a walk have loaded him up here in the 8th inning. Pedroia, Martinez, and Youkilis. And the drama of baseball continues as David Ortiz.
Well, talking about being calm, not that easy with Big Papi stepping to the plate.
He's had 2 doubles in his last 2 at-bats and scored both times. Youkilis has an RBI. J.D. Drew. Mike Lowell had 2 before he came out. Pitch will miss.
Well, I don't think so, but Dana Muth thought so. Boy, that ball looked like a strike.
Reddick has had a 2 RBI homer in the ball game, and the Red Sox threatening to blow the doors off it right here. 1-0 delivery to Ortiz in the air, center field, high. PA's got it. Runner will tag. Pedroia will score. A sacrifice fly that'll make it a 7-3 ball game. Ortiz gets his first RBI of the game, 84 in the year.
Well, you've seen some great at-bats by the Red Sox in the last 2 innings, and that's one. Situational hitting, you know Big Papi wanted more, but the Red Sox will take another run. And without the error of Wigginton, McCrory would be out of the inning.
Orioles will keep the bullpen active. Sarfate up. And so is J.D. Drew. J.D. Drew delivered his last at bat, an RBI single. He's had a 2-for-4 ball game, double and a single. Runners at first and second now. There are 2 down. Corey's delivery to him is in there for a strike. So the Red Sox offense continues to pump. And they're still at that 3 runs or less that they've been at for 11 consecutive games, as they have the 7-3 lead. Here's the 0-1 delivery down low. Muller kept it out in front of him. A 1-ball, 1-strike count. Red Sox last year won 95 ball games. They have 87 wins coming into this one, so they have a very good chance of reaching that or better.
Yeah, the Rays won 97, Yankees 89.
1-ball, 1-strike. And that one is going to be floated outside. It'll stay at 2-1.
Tell you what, it'd be a bonus if you could ever get Bob McCrory, because again, not that Radar going to tell you the whole story. His stuff's probably good enough to pitch in the big leagues if he can command it.
2-1 delivery is going to be up high. McCrory falls behind.
But he throws from 89 to 99. That pitch at 99 miles per hour. So a work in progress, and boy, you'd like to see him get his feet on the ground so he feels more comfortable to get the best hitters in the league out.
3-1 delivery. That is in there for a strike. So J.D. Drew will take it full. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 down, 2 on. The runners at second and first will be going. A base hit here, and one would score easily. Second base, Martinez. Euclid on it first. Here's the 3-2. Down the line, left field towards the corner. Fiorentino. Goodbye, home run. J.D. Drew on a 3-2 count. A 3 RBI homer. 10-3 Boston.
I'm sure if you ask J.D., he said, I'm just trying to make contact. And that's what he does. Ball's up. He slices it down the line. Looks like it's going to be playable, and it just keeps going. That Fiorentino runs out of room. Another souvenir for the Red Sox fans. They lead by 7.
Drew a big 4 RBI ball game with that hit. J.D. Drew now has 21 home runs and 63 RBIs. So the Red Sox now have 10 runs on 14 hits. Here's Brian Anderson. Anderson getting his first at bat. He came on as a pinch runner for Lowell. Lowell had a solid game, 3 for 4. In the air to center. PA going back. PA warning track. Wall reaching, and that's going to bounce, and goodbye home run. Back-to-back homers. Brian Anderson in his first at bat makes it 11-3, his 3rd homer of the year.
Well, he's known for his defense. And he just takes a slider, and boy, you watch him in batting practice, very rarely will he hit a ball out of the ballpark, and PA just runs out of room.
So the long ball again, a ball game that was so close for so long now isn't, as the Red Sox got 3 runs in the 7th inning. They have already scored 5 runs here in the 8th. Dennis Sarfate will come on to do the pitching. It is an 11-3 Red Sox lead.
Yeah, throwing the ball a little bit better. And the comment today was, how'd you like my cut fastball? Of course, he learned it 3 hours before he tried to use it against Tampa Bay. So he'll come in, gave up a run in his last appearance, but the velocity seems to be coming back. And again, fastball, curveball pitcher. So maybe the cutter, if he ever masters it. And Casey Kochman in. We came in when Mike Lowell left.
3 home runs have been hit by the Red Sox in the ball game, with Reddick getting a 2 RBI shot, and then back-to-back here, Drew 3 RBI homer, and the solo shot by Brian Anderson. 0-1 count, 2 down. There's Drew. 0-1 delivery. Casey Kochman will take it for a strike. He has had 1 at bat grounded out. Probably 2/3 of an inning, 3 hits, 1 walk, 5 runs, probably 1 earned. The error by Wigginton extended the inning, and the Red Sox took advantage of it. Check to see if he won around. No, says Hunter Wendelstedt. So on the season now, the Red Sox have hit 27 home runs. 27 home runs against the Orioles in 17 games. 1-2 delivery. Kochman takes it. And Sarfate was ready to leave, but it's a 2-ball, 2-strike count.
And the amazing thing, you talked about how good their pitching is and their offense, of course, kicking up. If they win tonight, they will be 9-1 in their last 10 games. And they would have outscored the opposition at 64-24.
It is a 5-run 8th inning, and the Red Sox looking to take game 2, have it in hand, 11-3. Half of the 8th inning. Brian Anderson now is going to move over to right field as J.D. Drew comes out. Joey Gathright will play in center. Ellsbury out. Sorry, Gathright is in left field. So Gathright in left and Ellsbury still in center. Takashi Saito will come on to do the pitching.
Another guy, again, the second best bullpen. He's been terrific. No earned runs last 12 appearances.
Matt Wieters will lead it off against him. Terry Francona could not say enough yesterday when talking about Saito's, not only what he's done on the mound, but what he's done in the bullpen as a leader of their bullpen. Right-hander, 0-1 delivery on the way. Wieters will take that one. And Wieters has had a solid night at the plate as he's delivered in a 3-for-3 ball game, hitting in the 3 spot, all singles and RBI off the first one. This time he's hit in this 3-hole, now batting at .278. And Saito's pitch just missed. Jed Lowry, another change at shortstop. Gonzalez out.
Yeah, he can play defense, talking about Lowry, but again, the operation on the wrist found a 1-inch floating piece in that wrist. He's going to take 3 months off and rest the wrist and then rehab it. But again, it's his glove hand, so swinging is a problem.
But they have Gonzalez, so done more than just weather the storm.
What a play he made.
2-2 delivery on the way, and that'll be strike 3. Saito gets the strikeout.
On command, and you saw him miss with a backdoor breaking ball, and then Matt Wieters turns around, hits left-handed. See the glove, starts it off the outside corner. Might have stayed there, but with 11-3. Again, deception.
Nick Markakis will come out of the ball game. Robert Andino will come on as the pinch hitter for him with 1 away in the 8th inning. Saito gets a strike on the outside corner. Andino 0-for-4 as the pinch hitter in the .228 overall average. 39-year-old right-hander from Yokohama, Japan. 3 years of major league service now. 1 delivery will be chopped foul at the plate, and a 2-strike count on Andino. 3 years with the Dodgers, moving over to the Red Sox.
And again, they took a gamble. Elbow problems last year, but when he was healthy, he was their closer. Of course, they have Jonathan Broxton, who throws about 100 miles per hour, so he was expendable. And again, the ligament problem, so he gets healthy, and all of a sudden you have a guy that had great experience and good stuff. I mean, he can throw, at least what we've seen, 92 to 94. He's got a pretty good idea with his breaking ball, and he can throw strikes. He walked 13 and 64 in the 3rd innings in a year that he had 39 saves. Incredible control. And again, Theo Epstein went out and got him.
1-2 delivery will be grounded down to 3rd base. Euclid playing there, makes the throw and gets the out. And there are 2 down here in the 8th inning. Saito pitched 14 years in Japan. He was an 87-80 record, 3.81 ERA in those years, mostly as a starter, although towards the end of it in Japan he also worked out of the pen over there. Was among the leaders in ERA for a number of seasons in the Japanese league before coming over to the Dodgers. Here's Justin Turner. He's got a pinch hit. Melvin Mora coming out. Mora had a home run, his 8th of the year, a 1-for-3 ball game. This is another player who's going to get some playing time when the Orioles head out on the road next week. Dave Tremblay saying Turner's one of the position players they want to get a look at. He's only had 6 at bats, playing in just his 5th game, a couple of singles.
Yeah, he got his major league debut up in Fenway Park. You know, I asked him, we were just talking to the Cage the other day, and he said he got LASIK surgery. He hails from Bellflower, California, kind of close to Orange County, and said he had the LASIK from the same guy that Tiger was, as we look at Chris Lambert. He said, I figured if the doctor was good enough to do Tiger's eyes, could certainly do mine.
Turner will hit the ground ball to short. Lowry's up with it. Running throw will be picked at first by Paxman. A 1-2-3 inning for Saito. We go to the 9th. The Red Sox lead it 11-3. Wigginton out. Fiorentino moves over to right field. Ty Wigginton will go to second base for Brian Roberts. Rodriguez will come on to do the catching. Chad Muller out, and Chris Lambert will come on to do the pitching.
Yeah, his last appearance all the way back on the 8th of September was against the Red Sox. Drew hit the first pitch, 3-run home run. So part of those numbers were the Tigers, and then the rest. So again, he comes in, and not a hard throw, or at least throwing about 87, 88 up in Boston. Starter. Toledo and Norfolk, 9-7, an ERA under 4 runs a game. Would have been one of the options as a starter. Maybe he still will.
26 years old. 1-0 delivery on the way to Lowry. Is getting his first at bat. Lambert went 1-3 with the Detroit Tigers over 2 years. Had a 7.9 ERA. And Gathright up at the plate. AAA starts 3.84 with that 7-9 record, and then claimed off waivers from the Tigers on August 20.
Said he had a lot of problems. The ball is different. One made in China. That's the one they used down at AAA, and the ball just felt strange.
Gathright takes it away. Gathwright's going to be one of the names that Red Sox will have to deal with when it comes to postseason play as to whether or not he would be somebody on the roster. He carried 3 catchers to start last year, just have ability to pinch run. That ball up the middle is going to be a base hit. Well, Gathright is on with a single. That's going to be the 16th hit of the ball game for the Red Sox.
Yeah, you need a guy in the postseason. You go back to 2004, the Red Sox down 3-0. They pinch run with Dave Roberts for Kevin Millar. He ended up stealing second base, scoring to tie it. They would win that game and then come back and beat the Yankees 4-3. And the Yankees haven't been in the World Series since. And it all happened with somebody off the bench that could run.
Jacoby Ellsbury's in the leadoff spot. He's trying to extend his hit streak. He's had an 0 for 4 and a walk. And will ground that one to the hole, and indeed he does. Gathright will stay at second base. So Ellsbury delivers a single. He's got a 5-game hit streak now. And the Red Sox have runners on at first and second base with nobody out. Not a monster finish to this ball game for their offense. They have scored over the 6th, 7th, and 8th innings. They put up 9 runs on 11 hits, and now they've added 2 more hits to start the 9th. 17 in the ball game.
Well, it would behoove them, and they're doing it tonight, to start winning on the road. The Red Sox under 500, and they're putting on an offensive show, no doubt about that.
Their season record of 23 hits came against the Orioles. 23 in a 9-inning ball game. Right field, Fiorentino. And Pedroia's retired, and the runners will stay where they are. Pedroia, a couple of hits in the ball game, 2 singles, 2 runs scored, but out on that one, and there's one away in the 9th inning. Manny Del Carmen in the pen. Boy, these benches that are so deep are being used. George Kataris is going to come on as the pinch hitter for Martinez. Kataris will come up with runners on at first and second base. He's had only 87 at bats in 39 games, hitting .230. 0 for 1 as a pinch hitter. 1 down and 2 on. Lambert misses away, ball 1. These are the kind of ball games for Terry Francona in particular, where having the expanded roster helps. Get some of your starters out of there, give them a rest, get others in for a couple of at-bats in a ball game you pretty much put away. No play on that one. 1-1.
Yeah, that's a great point. Last night down in Tampa Bay, Carl Crawford stole his 59th bases with a 7-run lead, and Of course, they asked Cito Gaston what he thought. He said, I manage my club, and Joe Madden manages his club the way he wants to manage it. But
so there.
But you do get to rest your guys, and you don't get to pile it on. It's not like trying to get your BSC points and pile it on in college football. Or the BCS. I guess it's BCS. Whatever. The Bowl Championship Series. BCS.
One ball, two strike count. Gutierrez has Gathright on with great speed at second base, and Ellsbury almost as good or maybe better. Strike him out. Lambert gets the strikeout. Gutierrez retired. 2 down here in the ninth inning.
Yeah, nice breaking ball for Chris Lambert. So now 1 out with this breaking ball. Starts it off the outside corner like Cito did that. And gets Gutierrez to chase. Well, nothing like pitching with 2 strikes and making a good pitch. That's where it starts.
This will be the 6th plate appearance of the ball game for Kevin Youkilis. And we'll take the pitch down low. He had in the 7th inning a big hit, an RBI single to bring in the first run in the 3-run 7th. He is struck out, flied out, grounded out. The RBI single and a walk has scored 2 runs in the ball game. 1-0 delivery is inside from Lambert and a 2-0 count. Lambert, 26. When you're coming off waivers, you know you got to make a point somewhere with somebody in order to earn a job. 2-0 delivery, and that will be his effort at the end of this season. And the Orioles hope to be able to give him enough innings so that he can have a legitimate chance.
I think originally they thought that maybe he would get a start or 2 when they closed down, and Brian Maz
off the fist, ground ball to short. This Ferris will go over to first. That will retire the side. No runs on a couple of hits. 2 are left on base. Bottom of the 9th coming up. 11-3 Boston. Game till the 7th. Gutierrez is going to come on to do the catching now. And Martinez out of there. They are carrying 3 catchers, and Manny Del Carmen to try and finish it off.
Yeah, another guy with exceptional stuff, and you bring him in. I mean, it's just to get him an inning. Not a mop-up man by any means. And the numbers support that.
Cito worked an inning and gave up nothing and had 1 strikeout. He needed work, and that's the same thing as Jim says with Manny Del Carmen.
Yeah, a couple of home runs all year against Manny Del Carmen. Righties hit him better, so you know, lights out against lefty. No home runs, 200 average. Righties 308 with the 2 home runs he's given up this year. But again, power pitcher, anywhere from 94 to 96. Big overhand curveball and a pretty good changeup.
Ty Wigginton now playing at second base. will face Del Carmen here in the bottom of the 9th inning with a strike. Yeah, his 9th home run in the 2nd inning. Orioles actually had the lead in this game, 1-0 in the first. They trailed 2-1, got it tied up 2-2. Orioles went ahead 3-2 in the ball game. Saw that tied up, and then came the 6 through 9. Wigginton got it, and goodbye, home run. He's got 2 in the ball game and 10 on the season, as Ty Wigginton gets one off Del Carmen.
Yeah, he does exactly what Jason Bay did last night off of Guthrie. He gets a hanging changeup, and he's all over it. So a 2-home run game for Ty Wigginton. And does he attack this changeup? Right where he wanted it.
Wigginton adds another and makes it an 11-4 ball game. It is the 11th hit that the Orioles have had in the game.
He hit it so hard up in Fenway Park, it probably would have been a single.
Felix P.A. will foul that one back. P.A. has had a single and a double, grounded out. Solid ball game, 2 for 3. P.A. is really up the average here. That 260 mark that he has right now. The 0-1 delivery by Del Carmen to him. Away. Did he go? No. 1-0. Here's the 1-1 delivery. 2-ball, 1 strike count on PA. Ty Wigginton has had the multi-homer game previously against Atlanta. He's now got 9 in his career, 2 this year. 2 homer games. 2-ball, 1 strike count on PA. Del Carmen off the glove and back, and a 3-ball, 1 strike count. Sometimes for pitchers out of the pen who are used to coming in tight ball games, this is the hardest thing they have to do in a game that's pretty much out of reach. Try and maintain a focus and throw strikes.
Yeah, most guys will tell you how the bullpen there's an adrenaline rush, which helps most guys.
That one hit hard and deep to center field by PA at the wall. Goodbye, home run. Back-to-back homers for the Orioles as Felix PA gets one.
So 7 home runs in this game. Right there, just a fastball and crunch to center. Ball flying here at Camden Yards tonight.
9 on the year for PA. And he has a 3-hit ball game with a homer, a single, and a double. He, of course, had a cycle earlier, and Manny Del Carmen coming on, trying to just finish this thing up. Gives up home runs to the first 2 batters that he faces and makes it an 11-5 ball game. He's now equaled the total number of home runs surrendered in all of his other appearances, as Jim mentioned, on the season. So he gave up 2 home runs in 55 1/3 innings. Coming into the game, he gives up 2 home runs in no part of an inning here in the 9th. Guillermo Rodriguez. That'll be a foul ball and an 0-2 count, his first at bat.
Got 71 games with Bowie and then 18 games with Triple-A Norfolk.
Rodriguez with an 0-2 count. He'll keep it that way. Right back here tomorrow, these 2 teams will match up one more time. It'll be the final game between the Orioles and the Red Sox. Afternoon game tomorrow. They'll wrap up their season series. Jason Birkin and Daisuke Matsuzaka. 0-2 delivery, fouled off. an important outing, as they all will be, for Matt Suzaka, and the Red Sox taking a look to see, for postseason purposes, whether they feel he should be in the rotation or not. Ramon Ramirez up before, throwing again.
And then you got Tim Wakefield, who's been having the lower back problems, which kind of radiate down into his legs, and he'll pitch on Monday. 11 wins, all-star for the first time this year.
The 0-2 is taken away, 1-2.
Well, he hit the glove. There is Tim Wakefield, turned 43 August 2nd. Didn't seem too upbeat. In a lot of pain. Obviously, I root for guys like that because he's been a man for all seasons for the Red Sox over the years.
Breaking ball is down low, and a 2-ball, 2-strike count. Del Carmen just struggling here, trying to find an out, and you just don't want to let things slip too long. It's 11-5 and a comfortable cushion here till you get to that 4-run differential, and then all of a sudden everything changes. 2-2. Way inside. And a 3-ball, 2-strike count on Rodriguez.
Yeah, he's trying to hang out over the plate with 2 strikes, and this one just rides up and in, and a little limbo right there. How low can you go? Out of the way.
3-2. Walks him. Francona might have to go to the bullpen again. 3-2 delivery to Rodriguez, and indeed he did. Not even close. Still nobody out. Updating you on the voting for the AT&T Player of the Game. Right now it is Matt Wieters who has had the 3 hits, a 3 for 4 night. You can still cast your vote, A, B, or C, 51862. And the results on the O's Extra postgame show. Jeff Fiorentino. Fiorentino has played the entire ball game, 1 for 3 with a single. Nobody out, bottom of the 9th inning. And he takes the pitch away for a ball. Manny Del Carmen against the Orioles this year. Pretty good success. Del Carmen a win. 8th appearance tonight. He has given up 3 runs, 5 hits in 8 innings coming in. Now, of course, he's added a couple of runs to that. And he can't find the strike zone. 2-0. Terry Francona sharing thoughts with John Farrell, his pitching coach. Two-0 count. Fiorentino will take that one for a strike, 2-1.
There are times, Gary, when you have the kind of stuff that Del Carmen, you just throw it to the middle. Not going to go there, but not when you're this wild. And hope that you get it somewhere in the zone. Trust your stuff. I'm sure that's what he's going to do.
Fiorentino pops it up back towards the seats. There'll be no play. 1 on, nobody out, 2 runs in. Back-to-back homers by Wigginton and PA.
And both the Red Sox and the Orioles were back-to-back home runs tonight.
Did not see that in many games.
And then Wigginton with a couple.
J.D. Drew and Brian Anderson got them for the Red Sox. Wigginton and PA for the Orioles. 16 runs, 29 hits combined. Del Carmen just can't find it. 3-ball, 2-strike count. So Fiorentino, he'll take a walk here if he can get it. There hadn't been any walks surrendered to the Orioles until that walk to the last batter. And Rodriguez got on. He's at first base and the 3-2. Then he's on. 4 up, 4 on, and that'll bring the skipper out. So Manny Del Carmen just totally ineffective here in the 9th inning. Terry Francona, even though the Red Sox lead at 11-5, just doesn't want to let this go any further. So Ramirez, who had been up twice in the pen, will come on to pitch with 2 on and nobody down. He had sent down for a final time tonight, not to be. He gets the call and comes on with 2 on and nobody out.
Yeah, his last appearance against the Angels up at Fenway in the third of an inning gave up 3 hits, 3 runs with a strikeout. So the Orioles know all about him. They've seen him, too often this year. He's pitched well against him, and again, the last time he faced him, bases loaded, tie ball game, got Reimold and Markakis with strikeouts with the bases loaded in Fenway.
Now Michael Aubrey's going to get his first at bat. Aubrey's got runners on at first and second, Rodriguez and Fiorentino. Aubrey's batting in the number 1 spot. Roberts out of the ball game. IZTURIS on deck. Aubrey will take the pitch for a strike. Ramirez, 28 years old, out of the Dominican Republic, has pitched in the Japanese League as well as in the major leagues. Spent the 2002 season there, was out of baseball for 3 years, and made his way back. Here's the 0-1 pitch. Shortstop back. Lowry makes the catch, first out. IZTURIS has gone the distance in the game. A single his first time up, 1 for 4. Ramirez against the Orioles this season. This is game number 10. He's worked a full 9 innings previously, giving up a run on 11 hits. Has a 2-0 record against the Orioles this year. And IZTURIS will take it up high for a ball. This has been an offensive filled night with 11 left on by the Red Sox and 5 by the Orioles. 11-5 score, 29 hits. Up high again. IZTURIS takes it, and the count will go to 2-0. Matt Wieters waiting on deck.
And Wigginton would love to get that one ball that went through his leg that led to the unearned runs. 5-run 8th inning. They get the extra outs and they take advantage of it. Drew with a 3-run home run, and then Anderson with another home run right behind him. It happens, and then you try to make good pitches, but McCrory just not enough experience, didn't make enough good pitches to get out of the jam.
2-ball 1-strike count on IZTURIS. John Lester, the starter, is the pitcher of record, looking to win his 14th of the year, to go 14-7 and 10-0 against the Orioles. Matt Albers, who came on for the starter David Hernandez, is the pitcher of record for the Orioles. He's in the 7th inning. Albers charged with a couple of runs, and the Red Sox have led since. Hernandez came out in a tie ball game. 2-ball, 2-strike count on IZTURIS. Runners off first and second base. Ramirez. It's a pop back again. That'll be over the dugout. Would not want to know how many pitches have been thrown in this ball game. Not pitchers, pitches.
And Dana DeMuth has had to call all of them. Well, not all of them, because some never got by the plate.
Quite a few of them.
But he's ready.
Here's the 2-2 delivery up high, and Ramirez takes the count full 3-2.
Well, I said early on, DeMuth not one of those guys that gives you a lot of pitches off the corner, so he's more of a hitter's umpire, and the scoreboard reflects that. You've had to throw it over. Pitchers don't like to do that. You don't want to throw enough to get them to swing at balls.
Here's the 3-2 delivery. IZTURIS again fights it back. It'll stay at 3-2. So of course somebody had to come up with the total. 336 pitches have been thrown in tonight's ball game.
Doesn't seem like that many.
12 pitchers have been used. 3-2 check swing. Fouled away.
And of course, to put that in the proper perspective, you would have to know what the average number of pitches that are normal in a 9-inning game.
Yeah.
That the home team is trailing at home, so you get the full 9 innings, right? Because otherwise, you don't bat in the ninth if you're at home and you have a lead.
And we don't want to shortchange number of pitches. He walked him. The bases are loaded. So Ramirez comes on, gets it out, but then walks IZTURIS. And the Orioles have loaded him up here in the bottom of the 9th inning with Matt Wieters coming up. All via the walk. Rodriguez, the lead run up, Fiorentino at second base, and IZTURIS at first.
Well, the Orioles have won 2 this year, and one of them on June 30th. It came from 10-1 back.
They trail this one 11-5. It was coming into the inning 11-3.
Well, you're one swing away from making 11-9.
Matt Wieters, 3 singles and an RBI, and he is struck out in the game. Matt hitting at .277. And a ground ball towards second base, not hit hard. Pedroia, there's one, relay to first. Double play. And this one is in the books. And the Red Sox have an 11-5 win. So Lester gets the win, 14-7. Alvarez will take the loss, no save. Final of the series tomorrow, Jason Birkin against Daisuke Matsuzaka. Our coverage, MASN HD at 1. O's Extra, presented by AT&T. Game coverage at 1:30. For Jim Palmer and Amber Theo Harris, I'm Gary Thorne. Thanks for being with us. This has been a MASN presentation. A lot of hits, a lot of runs, and a lot of pitches. Jim and Rick.